Okay, bet. Okay. What's up, Mr. Funko Cop?
Good, Fats, man. How's it going, bro?
I'm good. I'm good, man. You was telling me yesterday that you dang near the Funko factory where you at. How many pops you get in the mail?
Yeah, man. I think the other last week I went to go drop something off at a post office and had a funk. I forgot who I was sending it to. I think I was sending it to Seth from What's Poppin', and it was in a Funko box. And the lady at the register, because that's the closest post office to my house, was like, "Uh, do you know that they have a Funko shop right here in town?" And I was like, "No, I didn't know that." They was like, "Yeah, we deliver to this person all the time." And I was like, "Oh, no clue."
I don't think
So,
they know.
yeah, they must not know that like I'm the person that they're delivering to all
Right.
the time.
Wow. Hell no. That's amazing though. Yeah, because whenever I go up to my post office is maybe 2 minutes away, like
Yeah,
driving, like it's not far at all. And the I always get the same lady, or my lady friend will go and she'll get the same lady. She was like, "Oh, is he sending a pop today again?" and stuff like that. And then now she's starting to see pops like out in the wild, so she'll be like telling me about them. I was like, "Oh yeah, I seen that one just came out recently." Yeah, I was like, "Which ones you into?" Yeah, so she started to get the post lady into the pops too, bro.
well, I hear that. Post Lady and the Pops. I hear
Hey,
that.
hey, P and P. So what was like what was the thing that got you into collecting? Like in general, like not
Um,
just pop related.
what got me into collecting, I shout out to my homie Soren Wins, my boy Court. He's like a brother to me. I consider him a brother. I knew him since I was like 3 years old, 2 years old. He introduced me to I guess like a convention we have here in our area called NecoCon. It's one of the biggest anime conventions in actually on like on the side of the east side. And he's been going every year faithfully. And one year he was like, "Yo, you don't have to pay to get in. You have to pay to get into like the rooms, but it's free
Right.
for you to walk and see like the cosplay and stuff like that. You just walk in." So I was like, "All right, dope." I went with him one time, and I was able to finagle my way into the room and without a badge, and saw. I was like, man, it was saw like the Dragon Ball Z statues, Dragon like a whole lot of anime stuff. Like it blew my mind how much anime stuff I was seeing. Like, and that kind of got me into wanting to collect. So I didn't buy anything that first year, but I saw like this Dragon Ball Z statue, which was like the Grail statue I wanted. And it took
Which
me
one?
to. It is a. It's all the way up there. It's Vegeta in grade 8 form, holding like right behind Goku when he's doing a spirit bomb. It's like a big ass fucking statue. And
That's
so
dope.
I
Dope.
saw that for like at the same booth the guy for 2 years, and it was $145. And I was like, man, I cannot do it. I couldn't do it. I went next year, saw it again. I was like, I can't do it. And then one year I was like, you know what? I started the channel. I was like, I'm doing it. I'm gonna pull the trigger, and we go back and forth. Um, it's kind of like we'll do. All right, I'll buy a statue and be like, yo, I just dropped 80 on a statue court. Like, what you about to get? 80 plus. The minimum got to be 80 plus. Now
Right.
I'm good. Now I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm not buying anything. Like, but he's really big into like Final Fantasy, so I kind of
Nice.
got him into collecting a little bit. So
Mhm.
he's been buying like the Play Arts Final Fantasy figures, like the
Oh,
Square Enix ones. I think Funko Frenzy was talking about on one of his live streams. He's been buying those for the past couple of years. So got him kind of into that collecting realm. So, and those figures go for like, depending on the character, 150 to 300 plus for one figure. So he'll buy that. Like last or 2 years ago, we went with Droobs, and he bought I think they call it Summon in Final. I never played Final Fantasy, So he bought like a
What?
summon. Yeah, I never played it. Um, excuse me. He's a I, to me growing up, I wasn't a big turn-based style fighting game.
Uh,
So even to this day, when I think of Final Fantasy, I think of it's a turn-based style, and he's like, yo, they got rid of all that, and I'm like, I might try it. I tried the new demo. Excuse me,
what
and
you think?
it was dope for what it was worth. I'm more of a Western RPG type of dude. Like
So like Red Dead.
I played Red Dead. One of my favorite games growing up was Fable. I was really into Fable. Um,
Fable's fire.
I didn't. I never got a chance to play Fable 2 and 3, but I beat like Fable 1, Fable Lost Chapters, which is like a continuation of number 1. I
Uh-huh.
beat it on PC. That was like one of my first PC games I ever played. So, Fable, I'm playing now on the Xbox Shadow of War, um, Middle Earth Shadow of War, because I played Shadow of Mordor one time and I was hooked. So
Yeah,
Shadow of War,
that's one of my favorite games.
yeah.
I
So
played Shadow of Mordor. I was like, okay.
yeah, that was crazy is I didn't plan on getting that. It was
Hmm.
kind of like a buy two get one free type of deal at GameStop, and it was okay. You bought 2K. I bought 2K, which was $54. I think I bought Destiny, which came out, which was $54. And it was like, well, you have up to $54 of a free game to get. So I was like, I'm not going to buy like a $15 game or get that for free. And they had that for $49. I was like, I'll try it out. And after that, I was like, oh,
I ain't mad at you because I played it by accident on Xbox. My cousin has an Xbox, and I play on PS4, so he had it on there, and I played it one day, and I was like, oh, okay, they moving up with these Lord of the Ring games. Like,
I didn't know it was Lord of the Rings because I never seen the Lord of the Rings movie.
oh,
Until
okay,
the dude came out, Golem, until
yep,
he came out, and
Smeagol.
I was like, this is fucking Lord of the Rings.
Hmm.
But
Amazing.
the story already got me before the Lord of the Rings even got it. So I to kind of wrap up your question. What got me into like collecting? I blame my boy Court for taking me to the conventions. So
Hey man, that's how it be though. That's there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean,
it's not, and I enjoy it. We enjoy. We make it a. We try to make it like a yearly thing. It's right down the road from us. Try to go out there, drink a little bit, hit a bar up, go to the convention. If it's not early in the morning, go to the convention, look at a couple of statues. Because I
right.
remember going to these conventions, and before GameStops and Hot Topics were getting these statues, like the band Presto statues were like $50, $60 for just
Hmm.
one statue. And I'm like, man, and that's what kind of got me on the train of buying these statues now for like $25. Because I remember when they were $60, $70 for a statue or a figure, and I'm like, no way, no way, I couldn't do it. And then GameStop started getting them, and I was like, well, for $25, I remember telling myself this same statue was at the convention going for $60 for 25, no doubt in my mind. And that's what kind of got me on a downward spiral on a statue game.
Yeah, bro. I have two statues. They're both trunks, but I was just actually talking to her about getting another one because I want a Goku or a Vegeta or some sort, and I've been wanting a certain trunk statue for a while, like super trunks of
Mhm.
him in the Saiyan armor when he was like really buff and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Whenever
yeah,
he fought Cell, that's the one statue I want, but that's a resin, and the resins is.
yeah. Ridiculous. Just
I might as well get a
ridiculous.
Arlia. I might as well just get a Arlia. Like,
No, to me, I like that's where I've kind of like you have to pick and choose. Like when it comes to like pops and stuff like that, like do I want to spend $100 on this pop, or do I want to spend $100 and get 4 to 5 model kits?
yes.
And that's when it's like this pop was originally $10. I'm not spending $100. That's why I can't really get myself to become a completionist. I know like the homie Trails, he's a DBZ completionist. I think the only one he's really missing is the Arlia.
Me
Um,
too. That's the only one I'm missing.
like I can't see myself doing like I know I need to go back and get like I don't have no Krillin pop because I was like, it's Krillin. Like I respect Krillin, but I was like, it's Krillin. I'm not really stressed about it. Only Vegeta pop I don't have is the PA Vegeta and the metallic Super
Super
Saiyan
Saiyan
God.
Blue.
Yeah, the Super Saiyan Blue from GameStop. And I was like, I couldn't see myself spending $100 for that. I just couldn't. You know.
Yeah. I couldn't either, but I had a bunch of I was collecting WWE, Flash, and some Marvel. So
Hmm.
I sold all of that and then I just got everything I could get DBZ wise except for the Arlia because that's always just been high. So,
Yeah.
but
That's
yeah, man, I understand that.
that's one thing I can't do either, man. I have like I can't sell my pops. I can't part with them. Like when people say, I was just talking to Chunky Swole earlier this morning. I was like, bro, I can't sell them. Like even I have boxes and boxes of pops in my closet right now, and I could take them to like a place like Bella's Books and Comics and sell them and trade them in. I just can't see myself partnering with them because with me, it's not about the price. It's not about how much it's going for. Like I don't have my collection in the Funko app. I don't even use the Funko app. I don't use PPG. I don't like because to me that Coming to America pop is what I remember watching with my dad. That um whatever Cat Dog pop is I remember watching with my brother. So I can't part in that is like part in like a memory I have. So it's hard for me to get rid of pops, man. It's hard.
I don't blame you at all, bro. The times I did, trust me, it was not something I personally wanted to do. But
I
when you live with somebody else
I get it. I
and
understand.
the thing is just like I couldn't imagine if I still had WWE and Flash still trying to keep up with DBZ because like sadly I am a completionist to an extent. Like it's 4 Spider-Man pops that I just can't get because they like 400 and up and
Oh yeah.
I can't do that. Like I just cannot do that. So
Mm.
with that being said, I couldn't imagine trying to keep up because I had every flash pop, but still trying to keep up with those lines is just like
Yeah.
it's a lot. Like at all, like I haven't other than what the Jiraiya pop, and even that was a pre-order. I haven't had to buy a pop recently at all, unless it was for a giveaway or for
Yeah.
somebody else. And I like it that way, you know what I mean? Sometimes I
Yeah.
just like to be
Exactly.
able to take I love whenever they come out with stuff. Trust me, I love the new stuff. I always will get I really don't care unless it's chrome. I will pretty much you can get me with the different, very like the metallic and the common and then the glow, all the same like mode. I'll get it, fine. The
Yeah.
chrome, not so much, but I get them, but like selling them and trying to keep up with a bunch of lines is just really hard, and I don't like really doing that.
I
I don't
think
like that game. So
yeah, I think with me it was like right now I'm a huge Office fan. I watch The Office faithfully every day. I mean, I'll go for a run and just have Netflix playing The Office and tell myself I just got to get through one episode of The Office and I'm done with the run. Right?
right,
So that line, I told myself I want to make sure I complete because I'm up on it while I don't have to backtrack for it. Backtracking is what kills people.
yes,
So when you want to finish a line or be a completionist, you have to be in it right when it starts.
yes.
But
But
it'll be
that's
that
my thing,
moment.
though. It's the getting hit back to back to back to back
Yeah,
to back with the new stuff because lately they like all between I want to say August until maybe until the Jiraiya had came out, they was just hitting me. Spider-Man, Naruto, DBZ, Spider-Man, Spider-Man,
yeah.
DBZ,
DBZ was killing it. They had like you got the Radix wave with Nappa, and you can't Mecha Freeze. I'm like, yo, they had, and then you had the split.
clowning for a while. They got a whole other wave plan too coming out. Like that's on the Funko app already. That like I use the Funko app to keep track of like what's coming out for the most part.
Mhm.
And after I keep track of what's came out, I just move it to what I already have and I'll leave it at that. But most of the time I normally don't do the whole put the value up anymore because like I don't really pay attention like that. I don't want to
Yeah,
part with any of my pops, you
yeah,
know. So I especially what I got left, like I'm done parting what's coming out of my personal collection. She actually had made a suggestion like, well, maybe you could give somebody a Vegeta as a gift and then we'll get it back for you. I was like, listen, I love I love whoever I'm about to give a pop to, but if there's a way to get them their own Vegeta, let's just do that. I
what
love them
difference does
dancing.
it make? I
Right,
mean, money spends the same way.
right,
Two
yeah.
two
Like,
ten
don't
dollar
need to
bills
take
or
it
a
off
20.
my shelf. You know,
Exactly.
it's all good.
I
So
definitely
what's your top five favorite pops you got, like in general?
wow. Top
I
five
like to
pop. I would probably say Stonekeeper from MCU line because the homie Trail Collector got that for my birthday. He knew how bad I really wanted that. I missed out on that one. Um, damn, I can't really think off the top of my head. The Final
mm,
Flash New York Comic Con exclusive from the con itself. That's one of my favorites. Um,
this one, correct?
yeah,
But with the
yeah,
con sticker.
yeah. Just because of the, it's mainly because of the moments. I have to really sit back and think about like the moments. Because with that one, I met. That's when I first met Cletus, and
Oh, okay.
so when I met Cletus, he had a big Funko bag because he just got out of the Funko booth. And on my way up there, it was me, Trail, and Bearded Pop Hunter. We was on our way up there. We stopped at a Dunkin' Donuts on the ride up to New York because it hit 12 o'clock. We needed a fucking place to have Wi-Fi. We went up to a we pulled I pulled into like a Dunkin' Donuts and connected to their Wi-Fi. Ordered the everything I need off a Hot Topic. So I was like, all right, I'm secured. I don't have to worry about getting the Funkos from the convention.
Right.
So I wasn't. So when I met Cletus, it was down in the area where they had the people, the celebrities that was doing the signatures,
Mhm.
because it was a little bit more open. You could hear yourself talk a little bit. So when I met Cletus, I was like, "Yo, it's good, bro. I watched the channel. Like he knew me and stuff like that." And we was talking, and I was like, "Yo, well, did you get a chance to get the Iron Man pop?" He was like, "Nah, I missed out on that one. That one sold out." And I was like, "It's crazy." I was like, "Well, did you get the Vegeta pop?" And I was like, "I don't want to buy it from you. I just want to see it because that's the first. I obviously seen the glams, but didn't see the pop itself. I would like to see the pop itself." He was like, "Bro, if you dig in that bag and find it, you can have it." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, because I'm not digging through that bag to find that pop." And I was like, "Bet." And he was like, "Only thing I ask you is you can have it for free. Only thing I ask you to do is go get it signed by Chris Sabat." And then Chris Sabat was like literally like 60 feet away. And I was like, "Say no more." And that's when I was able to get Chris Sabat to sign it. And then I think that's the first time I met Chris Sabat. And that right there is a dope moment. So it's like the moments make the for me the pops my favorite pops. Like I have right now the kid, so Son Goku from Dragon Ball that I got from the homie my Flashpoint. He sent that all the way from Canada. That's one of my favorite pops. I didn't have that before. He signed it and everything. So
Okay.
for him to send something from Canada all the way to me and for him to be a kind of like a main supporter in my channel, that means a lot. So, and like the Lazy Youth Custom Pop is one of my favorite pops. So it's hard for me to pick just to say, which ones is my favorite pop. Like me going it, none of my pops that are my favorite are probably ones that I went out and bought personally. They all probably came from somebody that had a meaning behind them. So those are probably like my top five pops.
That's what's
That's
up
what's
though.
up.
I
I
appreciate that.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
never
I
got
never
that
got
answer
that answer.
before. Even though that's what a lot of us feel, I never really got that answer,
I'm
but
gonna keep it
I
100
appreciate.
with you, man. That's one thing I do. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't.
Oh,
I
no, yeah, I wouldn't expect no different. You good, don't worry about that. So so what what's been guiding you into the painting and statues and I mean, like, the buildings and all that stuff,
well,
models?
the homie, because when I started out, which is crazy, when I started out 3 years ago, there was only a few people that did Funkos,
Uh-huh.
and that I seen on YouTube. I watched Bearded Pop Hunter. I watched my homie Toy Hunter, who I watched the first. That's who put me on to this whole YouTube game, because Trell and I would do pop hunts all the time, but I never thought about putting it into a video until I became a cop. So I watched Toy Hunter and his other guy named Jippy Zayao, the one I told you about with the Dragon
Mhm.
Ball Z cards. He started. That's what makes, I think, the foundation of certain YouTubers of who you watched in the beginning. They are the reasons why I'll go out and mainly my videos are hunt videos. It's like I'll do a couple of unboxing videos and stuff like that, but I'm not a mystery box guy. Like you get, so I feel like whoever you started off with and grounded with, and what is where you kind of mold your channel around. So I watched Jimpy Zayao's videos, and he started doing like Gundam kits and painting his Gundam kits and doing things like that, going out on hunts and hunting for Gundam kits while he's at Barnes and Nobles or something. And last year around this time, I tore my Achilles. When I
Damn, I'm
tore
sorry.
my Achilles, I appreciate it, and I realized I couldn't really go out on a hunt. I couldn't really. I could, but it was a struggle because I had to use crutches.
It was
The
a whole deal.
Yeah, it was a whole deal. Like the bag, I'm walking out of the store, bag hitting the crutch. I'm like,
Uh,
pop probably damaged. So, so I'm like, you know what? I always did model kits when I was a kid because I grew up on the Toonami era.
Same.
So I did model kits as a kid. So I was like, let me go to my hobby store and this local hobby store we have and just get a kit. I'm at home. I'm not working. Let me just get dabble back into it. I purchased a Wing Gundam kit from Gundam Wing, and it was a
Nice.
high grade, so it's an easier build. And it took me just like an hour to snap together and build. And I was like, damn, that was kind of simple. Like, I remember back in the day how much of a struggle that was. And now I was like, all right, I want to go ahead and just dive right back into it. Like, so that's what kind of got me. Watching Jippy Zayao's videos is what got me back into the passion of Gundam and building Gundams and stuff like that.
I ain't mad at you. So is what are your like favorite animes then?
Um, my favorite animes, it varies. Like I'm not like Dark Sage Trail. Like I'm not. They're anime through and through. Like with me, like I'm Dragon Ball Z. Um, I like the new Ultraman series that's on Netflix is dope to me. Gundam Universe was has always been dope to me, and that's pretty much it. I'm a casual anime type of person. Like I'm like my boy would tell me, my boy Court would tell me, yo, go watch this. I think you'll like this, and then we'll do a trade off. We'll do okay. I'll watch this Code Geass, which he's been telling me to watch for years. I'll watch Code Geass for you. You go watch Ultraman. All right, bet. And then I'll do like I said in the chat, a trail special. Give it the first 5 episodes. If it doesn't pull you in within the 5 episodes, it's probably not for you. So I'm a type of person that likes action throughout. So my boy Court told me to go watch Bleach, and I was like, all right, I'll go watch Bleach. I never watched it before, and then I watched it, and I was like, every episode had action. It wasn't really not a lot of filler. So I was like, all right, you got me. I'm hooked. I'm on. I'm not done with it. I just got to the Soul Society.
I have never seen Bleach because
Ble- Bleach is it to me. It's a for a casual fan. It has a lot of action in it to where you can understand what's going on, and not a lot of filler, not a lot of Dragon Ball Z. You deal with a lot of filler episodes, so I'm used to it. But when I get what to do with the filler, it gets me confused sometimes about what's going on.
Right.
That's why I like Ultraman because when I watched it, it was action packed. It was It's only 13 episodes. I finished it, and it was something I go sit back and be like, all right, there's not a lot of filler. There's action in every episode. The
Right.
storyline continues in every episode. There's no like, okay, this is what we're doing today, and it's
Right.
for 4 or 5 episodes. So that's one reason I love GT because for GT to be 60
Six,
something episodes,
64. Yep.
64 episodes, and yeah, there's certain filler episodes, but you get hit with Baby Vegeta Saga, Super 17, and then Omega Shenron. Like that's right there. That's a lot of action for just 64 episodes.
Yeah.
So uh,
So why you think so many people hate on GT, my brother?
I think GT is probably hated on because it went against the grain a little bit when it came to I don't think it was as popular as obviously Super is now because it didn't hit home over here like it did. Like people love GT but don't want to admit to it because growing up, I know people probably printed off GT pictures off of Google Images, off of and put them in binder sleeves and walked around school with Super Saiyan 4 pictures like I did growing up, and they don't want to give that the respect. But the GT to me I've always enjoyed it because I always loved the Super Saiyan 4 aesthetic look. That
Bro.
to me was
Ultimate.
the best transformation, the
By
best
far.
transformation
By
by
far.
far.
It's not and then in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta? Oh, I'm done. I'm checked out. Funko Cop.
And
I'm done, brother. Like, don't talk to me
exactly.
about nothing. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about what you talking about in Super Ball Z, all
Yeah,
of nothing.
that's
Leave it alone.
like I was saying in y'all's live, like if you go villain for villain, like Omega Shenron to Jiren, like I don't know, like I bang with Omega Shenron. I bang with Super 17. I bang with Baby more than I bang with Goku Rose. I like the Goku Rose art, the Black Goku art. I enjoy it, but that's nothing but Xenoverse. To me, it felt like I was playing Xenoverse when I was watching it. So it was, but I bang with Baby Vegeta more than I bang with Rose. And the
Facts.
metallic, I mean not metallic. I'm thinking of the pop, but the Frieza saga, the Frieza art when he came back was dope. So I guess I will put that over Super 17. But it still had its quirks. It still had like so
Yeah.
two out of the three enemies so far from Super to GT. I feel like GT has that.
Yeah. By
So
far, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think I think Jiren was just the thing to match Goku until they make more anime stuff
yeah,
because and he wasn't even really a enemy. He was just like doing what was necessary so his universe didn't get depleted. So it's not
exactly.
like he went out of his way. Like my thing is like they started GT with the Omega or yeah, the Omega Shenron stuff, like
hmm
off gate, introducing the Black Star balls,
Which
having
makes
them being
sense.
shot across. Whenever they got them, they started to crack. The
hmm
whole thing, like all of that, like they did that from the start of GT until they end up beating them with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And you telling me
Exactly.
Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta ain't? I'm sorry, it may not be stronger than Ultra Instinct, but I would take that over than seeing another
Because
transformation of
it,
Vegeta.
I, and I talk to the boys about it all the time. Like you're downplaying what they did in Z. Super Saiyan 3, when Goku went Super Saiyan 3 was so iconic. Um,
Iconic.
and now it's
Like,
like
bro,
completely washed down. It's
bro.
it, it's washed down. And what I don't like as well is when they did the female version of Broly with
Yes,
Kale.
I didn't like that.
I
I didn't
understand
like
you want to pay respect to it, but if you knew that you was going to make a movie,
it's not
and
as special no more.
and that's what and
Give
I'm a
her her own thing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, make
Exactly.
her like, you coulda did something completely like, made it to where she coulda turned Super Saiyan 3 off gate or something,
Yeah,
like, give her her own moment that, like, has never like, how Kaba had turned Super Saiyan, like, out of
exactly.
nowhere and learned that in front of everybody with Vegeta, or, like, when Goten turned Super Saiyan with Gohan, or Kid Trunks just was like, "Oh, yeah, me and Goten been able to go Super Saiyan for a while now." Boom, and then he was like, "What is this? A Super Saiyan bargain sale?" Like, you know what I mean? Like those is moments like I will like Dark. Me and Dark Sage talk about all the time, and a few the other buddies, but like whenever I make some of my videos, like I instantly know where that pop, like when they come out of pop, I know where that scene was in the show. And
Exactly.
if not, it's like I know I've seen that before. I just gotta go find like, and then I like to rewatch that scene. Like, man, this is just it's just perfect. Like, and then
Exactly.
they
So
made this in real life. Now I get to look at this over on my shelf from time to time. It's just like simpler days, man. Simpler times,
exactly.
better memories. To what you were saying earlier about why you don't sell your pops and all that stuff. So I totally feel you, bro. Real talk.
Yeah. So that's what that's what kind of because I'm a huge Broly fan, and the only I can see the juxtapose when they compare, like they split it, like the old legendary movie of
Yeah.
Broly. He hated Goku. The new
Yes.
movie, he hated Vegeta. Okay, I see it. I see what y'all doing there. You changed it up a little bit. What I don't like is only problem with that movie is they do not go into detail about the legendary form. So I hope the new arc goes into because nobody knows what makes the legendary Super Saiyan. Because I don't know if they hinted at it in the Frieza saga because they when they brought up the Super Saiyan and it was and
Hmm.
Vegeta was like it was a legendary Super Saiyan, but I don't know if he was talking about Broly though.
Bro, yeah.
Yeah, so
He
when they
couldn't
bring
have
up
been. Not then. For
exactly,
Vegeta and Frieza to know that story, Goku and Broly were kids at the same time, like babies at the same time. I think what, merely weeks or days apart. You
exactly.
know what I'm saying? So that they couldn't have been talking about them. And I know that they hinted in another. I think it was the eradication of the Saiyans.
Hmm.
Bardock had hinted towards the Super Saiyans and stuff, and that's obviously way before Goku or Broly. If
Exactly.
Bardock is still alive telling the story, you know what I mean?
So
So
like what is this form that and that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. The Broly movie to me is probably one of the best Dragon Ball Z movies. Both of them, the legendary and the newer one, are two of my favorites. And they never answered that question. I thought going into the movie theater, I'm going to know the answer to how is it a legendary form? How is because my thing now is that legendary form, is it so unique to where is it better than Ultra Instinct? Is it
right,
like is Ultra Instinct
right.
higher than the legendary
Can
form?
you master the legendary form?
You think they left that door open, so hopefully in a new season of Super that I'll probably get hopefully get that answer.
Well, so this is this is what gives me a nasty taste about Broly, right? I love both of the like base first movies, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
The first one and then like the remake or whatever. But what they turned him into to where they had to remake it, first off, and second off is just like I just don't think the first time around they did him any justice with the whole like I get like how like he was supposed to be very primal and stuff, but it was, and that's probably why he was able to obtain the legendary form, is where he's just so at the base roots of what it's saying is, like it was easier for him to obtain. Maybe so, and that's a good way to explain that. But they didn't do that.
Yeah,
So it was just like you did a lot of things that you didn't explain in Z alone. Now you make all these movies and you leave even more to, you know what I mean, what we doing now. It's just a lot of
yeah,
speculating, and it's just like fans like us, we like to speculate, but we also would like to know the factual
yeah,
answer because, like,
yeah.
okay, then that
So,
makes sense then a
Give me
little.
give me something to go off of to say, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay, like the 30, you only do the fusion for 30 minutes, so the split. Okay, that makes sense.
right.
Oh, give me something other than it's just a form called legendary. Because you're not telling me how it's legendary. You're not telling me if anybody else can get this form. Kale obviously got the damn form. What makes her the legend? Like, what makes that legendary? So
Right.
that's the only gripe about the movie. Other than that, love it.
I actually do not think that the legendary form is stronger than Ultra Instinct only because unless Super Saiyan God Vegito matches Ultra Instinct, but they was giving Broly the hands whenever they turn into Vegito.
Yeah,
And
you
so
gotta
much so
remember
that
though.
they had to teleport him
You
because
gotta,
he
you
was gonna
gotta,
die.
you gotta think though. In that movie, it took two. He said it. It's not just Goku and Kakarot. I mean, it's not Kakarot and Vegeta put together. It's one new person with a higher level, which
Facts.
the legendary form pushed that higher level person all the way to blue and
Right.
still worked them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what does Super Saiyan Vegito equal like as far
Yeah.
as Ultra Instinct? So we saying legendary Super Saiyan and then Blue and Ultra Instinct are in some sort of range, like where are they at? You know what I
Where
mean? Like
and not it, where
what's
is the
stronger than
fusion
the other?
at of that? Like Super
Right,
Saiyan Blue Gogeta is must be stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Goku.
right,
So because so where does that like you said, where's the scale at? And that's what Super is, like I said, washed away because Super Saiyan 3 to me was like the pinnacle until you saw 4. And
right.
then which 4 made sense. And now it's just like, okay, Super Saiyan Blue, like so you telling me if Goku fought Cell right now in Super Saiyan Blue, it'll be equivalent to Radix fighting that farmer. Like it has to be like
Right.
it has to be like so now you're downplaying Majin Buu, Kid Buu saga to okay, Goku Rose for him to go Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and fight Goku Rose is my Kid Buu is completely nothing compared to Goku Rose. Because
Yeah,
if it struggled for you to fight him at Super Saiyan 3 and you surpass Super Saiyan 3 not one but two and a half times, we're like and you fight in Goku Rose and you have to fuse with Vegeta to do it, where does that put Kid Buu versus Goku Rose? That's what and that is the Dragon Ball Z logic. That's the only gripe about
because that's the thing. I think that they are only thinking in the moment. Like
it.
in Z, they had a gradual kind of thing, but they kind of screwed that all up with Super whenever they made it to where Frieza could train in his brain for a few days and then obtain gold form. So I'm like, so what happens when Cell trains? What happens when Kid Buu trains? What happens when Super Saiyan Rose and Samasu train fuse? Like, I don't understand what y'all mean when y'all say this. I feel like y'all just like we gotta put some sort of an obstacle in Goku and everybody's way so we can push them to a new form, and that's the meaning of the show. Well, that's why everybody call like DBZ fans all these names because they think we blind sheep. Well, we have complaints too, you know.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
have
what I mean,
rights too, and I know when it's like that whole Dragon Ball Z. Everybody Dragon Ball Z is the goat. Dragon Ball Z is the goat, and people are like, man, you don't know anime. Then. Like, there's One Piece that like Trail's big into One Piece and big
yeah.
in I'm like,
They say that. They say that until you watch the show, and I'll be like, my heart don't beat as much whenever I watch this than whenever I watch DBZ. You might give me a one or two episodes, but DBZ, dang near like whenever it's time to fight, and you know it ain't no game, and it's most of the time, you know what I mean?
that's why I had
I'm,
it.
I'm there like
That's why I had to agree with Dark Sage yesterday. Like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan when he first went Super Saiyan 2, and
he
it
was, it was.
shocked,
I had to give him a hard time, bro. I
and
gotta
then
give
on
Dang
top of that, you got
Darkseid a hard time.
Bruce Falconeer, who's on the ones and twos with the piano,
Right.
and then the narrator. at the end of every Dragon Ball Z episode, going in talking about this is, we've seen this in Gohan when he fought Raditz, when he fought Frieza. Now the power is unleashed. What
Yep.
like
The
I'm
memories
getting
just come
goosebumps.
in. Yup.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
getting
right here. I got it
goosebumps
right
now
here. I feel
thinking
you.
about that moment, and I'm like, yo, that I remember watching that on as a kid on Toonami, and like here we
Same.
are, like 15, 16 years down the line, and I'm getting still getting goosebumps about it. So it's a different level when it comes to people now that get into anime and like My Hero. Like I understand, like my thing about My Hero is true anime fans watch it. I think the people that collect the Funkos, I think a lot are influenced by. To me, to be honest with you, I go back and forth with him all the time. It's Bearded Pop Hunter. Bearded Pop Hunter. He's the homie, but he doesn't understand the influence he has in the Funko community. He might not be. It's just like when people say Jordan's the GOAT, but who's the number one influencer in the NBA, like of all time? And top three has to be Steph Curry, even though he's new. But before Steph Curry came out, I could go to the YMCA and play basketball, and everybody's playing basketball in a normal way. Now I go to the YMCA, people are pulling up from half court. Like, dog, like there has never been as much threes in the NBA until Steph Curry came out, and I feel like that's how Beard is. When Beard got on the My Hero train and started pumping those pops and statues, I feel like everybody, because like I said in the live, I remember being on Funimation and seeing the Glow Mite for 6.99. It was clearance, 6.99. I
Really?
remember going into
Dang.
I remember going into Hot Topic, FaceTiming Trail saying, yo, do you need this pop? Because Trail slowed down on buying pops. And it was Battle Deku when it first came out. So and it was abundance of them. And I'm like, he was like, no, nah, I'm good. And I wind up picking up Super Saiyan Rose and Shadow Pop. I think that's when it happened, when the Shadow from Sonic. Um
Right. I get what you're saying though, bro, because I watch video game YouTubers and stuff because I'm
mhm,
in a lot of stuff. So I watch all sorts of collectors, and anytime they say something, they're not meaning to say it to get people to go buy it all and then raise the value. They're just saying like, because I get stuff on my channel, it's like I know nobody's paying attention to, but I really like it, and I
exactly.
and as soon as I get it, you know what I mean, it's gonna be those group of people that's like either they gotta buy it now because they feel like, oh, now it's cool, or they never saw it before, they didn't have a reason to, or they just simply want to wait to get it so they can resell it because now they know that a lot of people are
Exactly.
gonna be looking for it.
Just like
And I don't get it.
people collect what they like, and obviously some people are
Right.
introduced to certain things. But like the super plastic, I don't. I remember like C.S. Miller been pumping like super plastic for a long time. Beer has been like talking about super plastic. I remember when we went up to my NYCC, he told me one of the things he had to go get was one of those abominable snowmen NYCC exclusives. So
Okay.
now that I see him doing that and like the tiny ghosts and stuff like that, like I guess like what they call it, designer toys.
Hmm.
I see those. I remember when they were quiet, and now I don't know what made them boom. I don't know if it's because
Right.
everybody's inside and watching different things, which is
Hmm.
understandable, or are they influenced by others? Which like I get it. As long as you're influenced by others, and which is dope, which is fine. I just to me, I always give credit where credit is due. Like that's why I said like when you said what got me into Gundam, the homie Jibby Zayal did. He got me
Right.
back into building. Like
Mhm.
what got you into collecting? My homie Court Storm Winds. He took me out to the convention.
Right,
So
that's understandable though, bro. If like somebody's bringing something to your attention that's new, like I never knew that they had certain pops sometimes. Like
mhm,
it's it's like a bunch of pops I never knew they had. Like I'm a big fan of Angel, and like last year my buddy Mario, he has the Angel pops. I was like, I didn't even know they had Angel pops.
wow,
You know what I mean, I didn't know that they had D Wade. I didn't know that they even had a Arlia Vegeta until like 2 or 3 years ago when it was already at $1,000. So I was just like, I didn't even know about a lot of the pops. I didn't know how deep. And even now, though, like I still like I don't get a lot of the stuff people do, but I know it's like a thing everybody does, whether it be the stickers or this or that. And I like it all. I like collecting the stickers. I like doing all of it. But my thing is just like if you're doing it because like you know what I mean, it's a new thing and you love it versus like everybody is doing it, you just want to be influenced by something to be influenced. I'm just like, I will be careful about that
Yeah,
because then you're
exactly.
not really being yourself anymore. And I just want people to
Exactly.
be yourself, eat because we all blend in like certain things together,
Yeah.
but to all be the like I've seen a lot of people like doing the pop unboxings. That's why I do mine a little different, but that's why I also like to my channel is built off a podcast. I
Yeah.
just recently within the last like 5 6 months did pop unboxings, so that's just something new. And then I do video game videos, so I like to, you know what I mean, be in the Funko community, but that's not the only thing I'm
Yeah,
influenced by,
exactly.
you know, like
And that's what, and I think that's what makes it genuine. Like that's what makes
right,
it like it um if you just like, and I tell people all the time, like, use the pop as what, to be honest, what it sounds like. Like the pop makes your collection pop. I feel like if you have uh what Dragon Ball Z statue collection, and you had two or it looks bland with just statues, but two or three, four pops mixed in will make it pop. So that's how I look at it. Like, the background, the walls are dope, and then you have your Iron Man setup, and you have an Iron Man fig and an Iron Man hot
right.
toy, and the Iron Man helmet, and then you have an Iron Man pop. The pop, I feel like, is gonna make it pop. So it's just I want people to do what they enjoy doing if they enjoy doing it. I don't want
Exactly. Yep.
people to do
Exactly.
something and then later on down the line start throwing it on Macari because it's no longer popular anymore.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Yes.
that's what
Yes.
makes it difficult for me, again, for me to sell pops or anything I have, because I almost remember every single time I go out and get a pop. So
Same.
for me to enjoy doing that, and that's why, like I said earlier, it's hard for me to let it go. Let some
Oh,
pop.
bro. Man, I will walk into store after store and see a chase and just walk by them. Like
Yep.
I don't
I,
even care. Like
like
it's nothing I collect.
e-
So
even
like
with
let that be there for somebody.
and like with me, like I remember I was at Hot Topic when it was the LA Comic Con. Yeah, LA Comic Con, they dropped the Ghost Rider with Baby Thanos, and I was like, they dropped the Corrupted Venom. I was like, I gotta get Corrupted Venom because I'm reading those issues. I know what Corrupted Venom is. I've read Venom. I read, I got the first appearance of. I'm not going to mention who it is, but of a certain Venomized character. So I wanted the Corrupted Venom pop, and then I have the first appearance of the Cosmic Ghost Rider, and on the in the Thanos issue 13, because I
Nice.
was reading the Thanos books because Thanos is my favorite Marvel villain. So I was like, all right, I want to get the Cosmic Ghost Rider and the baby Thanos. I gotta have all the Thanos pops. So as I'm walking around with the pops, I see this guy rush in and it was like, man, I just drove like an hour and a half to get over here and they don't have any more Cosmic Ghost Riders. And I was like, bro, here, just you can have this one. He was like, you sure? I have really no attachment to Cosmic Ghost Rider other than I have the first appearance. I mean, it would be dope to have, but I'm not stressed about it as much as I would be if you drove an hour and a half to get here, you want it more than I do.
Yeah.
So you could take it. So I think that's how the community should work.
Yeah. I way before I was doing a YouTube or had anything like that, I was at Hot Topic during the where is it? The first Broly, the very
Oh,
first one.
yep.
This
The
one.
CCC one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This one right here. So I was there, and they had the supernatural salmon, Sam with baby chase,
Hmm.
and it was like a whole pop ride. And the guy behind me was just like, I really hope I get this because me and my wife have all the other supernatural pops and this and that. And he was showing me pictures, and then I was like, Well, bro, if I can get in there, because I know like how our Hot Topic used to be, they aren't anymore. But how they used to be is just they will open door and whoever get there first, you know what I mean, get the pop. So like the doors open or whatever, and everybody was kind of reaching for them. And I just seen one, and I just because I'm taller and I'm longer, I just
Yeah,
reached my arm in the huddle and I pulled it out, and he was literally right behind me. I was like, "Here you go, bro." He was like, "Oh, snap." I was like, "Yeah, bro, you have fun with that. I came
yeah,
here for the broly." So, yeah, so I totally feel you for that. I used to go and whenever I would go get like the Parunga or any of the like the Comic-Con pops is normally whenever I would have to stand in line for a DBZ pop,
yeah.
I would get other ones for other people that,
Oh,
you
no
know what I
doubt.
mean, couldn't go to the store,
That's
because I
what
know how that is.
that's what Trell and I do all the time. Like, we'll if you catch one of my videos and we go out ECC, SDCC, we're always one and two because to us is like if you want that pop that bad, you're gonna have. My saying is you have to beat me there because I
Right,
like I
right.
said in the podcast before. If, what I think Dr. Almight or Organized Collectors, I used to stand outside for shoes at when I was a shoe collector. So I used to be outside at 11 o'clock at night to 9:30 in the morning. So me getting up at 4 o'clock to go sit outside the mall is nothing.
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 Nothing. I was
So
in the
I'm like,
army, bro. I don't. That's not. What do you mean? Go stand outside? Okay, like that. What do you stand in line in an air conditioning building? Okay, I did that
yeah,
before, and it was 102 degrees. What do you? I'm cool. Yeah, we can go. I get to
exactly.
bring my game.
And we'll go in there and
Shoot.
like Trail and I will say, get Trail and we'll get the max deal. We'll get like the 5 pop limit and we'll walk out first and people will see us and say, man, hey, look at those guys. Look at those guys. They done brought all they and I'm like, they don't know that Trail is sending this pop to somebody that
Have
Hot
no idea.
Topics 2 hours away
Have no idea.
with no internet. They have no internet connection because they live in the boonies and
Right.
HotTopic.com loads so slow for them that we go out and get those pops for them. Or they don't know that this person I know is at work and because they work day shift and they couldn't make
Exactly.
it. So, you know, if you want to have their pop, you have to just beat me there. That's it. You can
Yeah.
have it. I'll give you respect if you're number one and you get your pop. But I mean, I'll probably be one and you probably be two, or vice versa.
Oh, bro, man, I had a bad incident with a dude. Like it wasn't physical or nothing, but
Hmm.
so it was around the time that the Avatar pops was coming out, and they had the Prince Zuko chase and
Hmm.
Zuko or whatever his name, and then
And
Aang chase, and that
yeah.
was the one I was really going after. But I had went to get the box lunch chase the day before that our Hot Topic got the Aang chase, so I was standing in line and some dude brought another guy from work so he could grab both of the chases. And that's what he been doing at all the every time a chase will come out. He won't even collect it. He'll just be there to get the chase so he can make sure he get it and sell it and stuff. So the very next day, I'm going to get the Aang chase, and I made sure that I was first. Like there was no way around it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't
Hmm.
go the night before, but I was there at like 5 a.m. and I got it. It was nothing. Well, he was second in line, but he had to go back to work, so he wanted me to message him back and let him know, or message him to let him know like if anybody came in line. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to know if somebody come in line? So as soon as he left, pretty much I was like, bro, you did me like real dirty yesterday. And my cousin was with me and he wanted one too. So I was like, I'll call you or whatever. But I was like, as soon as the door opened, I hit my cousin. I was like, I gotta hit this dude up, but I wanted to let you know this
Yeah.
is
Oh, yeah.
gonna be another Aang chase. And then I waited a minute and I hit the other dude up. But I was like, I shouldn't even did that because you know what he did, bro? As soon as we came, he was trying to sell me the battle Deku that was already going down at the time because it had already had a couple restocks. So now it was selling for like 20 and 30 shipped and stuff like that. So he was talking about selling it to me for 40 and 30 and this and that. And then he in my same city. Like he the one that took them all from the hot topic we going in right now to get the Aang Chase. So I can't even get the Battle Deku. So I was like,
Exactly.
bro, you can be cool about this and I'll give you 20 for the Battle Deku, or like we ain't really gotta talk about nothing. because like you being like really like
Right.
douches about this like it's a battle Deku. Like I done had two of them. I just gave them to other people because they wanted them more than I did
Exactly.
at the time. But the more I finished my hero, I was like Deku the only one I roll with other than All Might. Like MHA is cool, but Deku remind me of a kid Goku that just want to train or Gon at Hunter x Hunter. So I got mad love for Deku. So when he did that, I was like, it's cool. So we went in and my cousin got one chase and I got the other, and they only had two. And I was
Yep.
like, that's what
That's
it
the
be
way the
like, bro. You gotta be here for him.
Yep, that's the way the universe works, man.
Yeah. So
What
like
made
I ain't cussed the dude out when the day before, but I was like, the fact that you brought somebody else here to get both of them because they got a one chase per person rule, I was like,
Yeah,
that's a little unnecessary. And my cousin didn't even give me the other hang. He kept it. So I was
yeah.
like, you kind of messed up for that, bro.
What made you get into the Funko game, man?
That's funny because I would see this is about maybe 2014. I would see them all around, and I never seen any character that I like. Period. I would just always see the weird ones. So I was like, I don't get it. Like every time I seen it, I was just like, I just don't get it. And then I was on a convention floor, like you were. I was at a convention. I got drugged to my first convention ever, and I was there meeting the voice for Michelangelo because I'm big into Ninja Turtles. Like I got a turtle tattoo. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
hardcore in the turtles. So I was walking the convention floor and I had turned to my left. I just had an itch. And as soon as I turned left, I lock eyes with a WWE Sting pop. And Sting was the first wrestler me and my brother ever laid eyes on. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Period. Like when it turned on, I seen Sting. I was like, oh, he looked real different. I'm down with that dude. Okay. So I
yeah,
had I had locked eyes with him and I was like, oh my God. Is that a Sting pop? Hold on now. I didn't know they had this. So then I started to see Spider-Man. And then I started to see DBZ. Like, I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, I
yeah.
got all these. So then that's what got me into. I actually got a picture on my Instagram back in I think it was maybe 2015 or 2016. I had took and it's maybe like 6 or 7 pops. It was real modest compared to
Hmm.
the obnoxious stuff I got now. So it's a big transformation throughout the year. So
Yeah, the collection definitely grows. I remember having like, because what started me going heavy into pops was Civil War, the Civil
uh,
War line of Marvel. And
yeah,
I bought, because Iron Man's always been my favorite Marvel superhero. So I bought um the Age of Ultron. My
right.
first two pops were Vegeta and Goku. Then I was like, all right, I put them on my desk. I smashed those boxes up. I threw them in like my filing cabinet at work. Like I had them on my desk. And then I was like, oh, I need an Iron Man pop because I started reading Marvel comics again. And I got it, Age of Ultron, and I saw that Civil War had like the Tony Stark with his mask up. So I was like, "Oh, that's dope." And when I get home, I want to go and lift the mask open on my pop. So I got home, took it out of the box. I was like, "How the hell this mask don't lift up?" And
That's
so
a variation, my brother. That's the
I'm
day
like,
Uncle Cop learned about variants.
exactly. So I'm sitting up there telling Trail like, "Yo, I gotta go to Hot Topic." Like he was like, "For what?" I was like, "They got this thing called Funkos that Iron Man has his mask up and that's his exclusive. I gotta get it." And he was like, and he started looking to it, and he was big into Deadpool at the time. He was like, "It's Deadpool pops," and he's a big. He has all the turtles. Trail has all the turtles, like
Love
every
it.
turtle pop, besides the 8-bit ones, because he's a
Yeah,
big Turtles fan.
yeah,
Um, and he was reading the IDW Turtles at the time, so he was like, "Let's go." That's our first official, I say, hunt. We went off what we
nice.
got off work. We went to Barnes and Noble's FYE Hot Topic, Toys R Us, and he went. And I remember going there, and they had every single Ninja Turtles pop at FYE, the original ones, um, all in a box, all under the CDs, and we're like, "Yo, let's just keep these right here. I don't think people are gonna come in here and get them." He was like, "Nope, I need to get them all." He grabbed all four, went over to Toys R Us, he grabbed the toward the no, he grabbed also from FYE, the FYE exclusive Deadpool. He was looking for the chimichanga truck. He saw so that's what got me into that deep diving into like the Marvel game because I didn't know that there was variants because I was collecting variant comics and that when I was like, all right, I understand variants, so now I gotta get variants for
Yeah.
the pop.
Whenever I started figuring out what variance was, I was like, "Oh no, what have I done?" I was like 50 pops deep. Whenever I was like, "Oh, I couldn't have just got the, I couldn't have just got the one Spider Man because like I got like six or maybe more than that. Like it's so many Spider Man pops that kind of look the same, but they don't, and
You
it's
already
just
got the J. Jonah Jameson up there.
oh,
Wow.
oh yeah, yeah. I did a video now not too long, like last week.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
check it out, you'll laugh. I got a couple clips in there from like the actual actor from the past two like Spider-Man's
yeah.
joints. So yeah,
So
bro. I have
what's your favorite? What's your take on Spider Man? What's your favorite Spider Man?
probably Tom Holland,
And
but
and I and I
it's
respect.
hard. Yeah, it's hard, but my thing is right. So Tobey Maguire is like the worst Spider-Man as in Spider-Man, but he's the best Peter Parker.
Yeah,
Now, my boy Andrew Garfield, he is the greatest Spider-Man, like in costume, because
yeah.
he talked the most stuff. He had, what I mean, he had the height kind of like he wasn't too tall, but he was tall enough. He had the build for it. He was very lippy. He could act, what I mean, like
Hmm.
while he was Spider-Man in the costume. But Tom Holland is kind of a mixture of both of them,
So
and he is the perfect age. Now, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire didn't have the age factor on their side. They
so let
both look like a elder or a college Spider-Man.
so
So
let me ask you this, because I go back and forth. Two questions. What is your Spider Man, right? And is the character bigger than the actor? And I remember asking this I was on Toy Hunters podcast. That's what makes I think whoever plays Spider Man and whoever plays Batman, it like the character is bigger than the actor. Like to
yes,
me,
yes.
Tom Holland, like people love Tom Holland as, and I like him as Spider Man too. But it wasn't the anim. He's not animated series Spider Man. What I grew up on. So when I see like these skinny, slim down versions of Spider Man, I'm like, okay, it's cool, but go back and watch the animated. Disney
He was
Plus got
built.
he
He
was
was
built.
built.
So my thing is, would it be weird to get that version of Spider Man and like, or at least that version of a pop or something like, or the Venom? The Venom was crazy. Like you, like the Venom, Tom Holland. It was an okay movie, decent, but it wasn't the Eddie Brock that I knew from the animated series. And I know I have to like let that go, but like I don't know when it became
But
Slim.
why
Like when Slim was
should
in.
you? You know what I mean? Why should you have to let it go? Why can't they create? Because this is the thing, right? We have three or four blueprints of Spider-Man, like
Yeah,
solid blueprints from back in the day. No movies, forget the movies, throw
exactly.
them aside. We have actual blueprints of what Spider-Man was and what everybody holds on to this day. You ain't the only one that feels that way, or me. Almost everybody I talk to says that the Marvel comics Spider-Man from like Fox Kids and all that sort of thing. The animated Spider-Man was the one of the greatest ones. Spider-Man and his amazing super friends. That's another one. Like
Yeah,
the
Spider Man Ultimate.
yes. So we got Spider-Man shows from and even some of the comics, you know what I mean? Like we have a blueprint of what Spider-Man is. So my thing is to answer your question, it's a weird one, right? So even though I agree with you, is the character itself is always going to be bigger than whatever actor you put in there, but the actor has to match and be as big, not the name, not the star power,
Hmm.
but you have to fill those shoes that you in. You know what I mean?
Like that's what that's what I think about is the character for the Joker. obviously bigger. Like when Joker, Jack Nicholson at the time when he did the Joker in 1989 was bigger. I think the name was probably bigger than the Joker. But people love the Dark Knight Joker. But my thing, because of Heath Ledger, and I always go back and forth. If Heath Ledger didn't die, would he still be everybody's top Joker? Like,
Yeah, he was for me. He was for me. He was
but
for me, bro.
if the Joker, if they come out with a new one, like, cause my thing is the Joker in the Dark Knight, it's a dope Joker, but I respect the Batman animated series.
Oh
So that's
yeah,
why.
all that's go all day, brother.
So that's why
That's
I. That's
all
why
day.
when people
Mark
ask
Hamill.
me like which one of your favorite Batman movies, I always go back to Batman and Robin because that reminds me of the cartoon. Like the Riddler in the Val Kilmer movie was
Yeah,
dressed like the cartoon version
yeah,
of the Riddler.
yes.
The Two Face was dressed like the Two Face from the cartoon. Bane looked like Bane from the animated series. So that's why I like those two movies. And when they, oh, you don't like the Dark Knight? Dark Knight to me, it was that's not the
But that's
Batman I
the
grew up.
yeah, that's what I had to come to an understanding with between the more cartoony, more colorful version of Batman, even though he's a dark character in general, and his
Hmm.
stuff is kind of shadowy and stuff, but it's more cartoony and more light in a way than what the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was meant to be gloomy. Like
Yeah,
every scene has to be it has to be pitch
dark.
black night or it has to be cloudy. You know what I mean? There is
Yeah,
no bright, sunny, shiny day at all because we don't want to present that any optimistic thing could happen at all times. We have to have with the Dark Knight movie, it was like every action always had a reaction and a twist to it.
yeah,
So it was like if Batman saved somebody, then somebody was innately going to die by the Joker because he wants to see this crap end. Like enough, like no more saving people. Like I just want chaos. Like that's the point here. I don't even have an end game or a goal, and that's what I appreciated by that Joker, and that's why I like the Joker movie that they came out with
hmm,
recently because there wasn't no need. It was just like it was so much that happened to this dude. He don't need anything to come of it. He is just like so insane. He just want to see the typical everyday to burn, which is
yeah,
what Mark Hamill's Joker was. You know what I mean? He wanted to see Batman's demise at the end of the day and have this weird like cat and mouse with Batman because that was his pure entertainment and excitement for all
fact.
eternity. But outside of that, he just wanted to mess with people. Like he didn't
Hmm.
there was no goal. Like I just want to ruin your day sort of thing.
So now that that Joker came out, the Joaquin Phoenix one, I really want to talk to the people and say which one is your favorite Joker because everybody loves the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Like, and now it's like, okay, pick a Joker, Heath Ledger or Joaquin Phoenix. Which one? And people and they'll go ah. But you wish before. That's why I always say the character is bigger than whoever plays the Joker. Like even the one that was in Suicide Squad wasn't that bad of a Joker. It wasn't. It wasn't that bad of a
I
Joker.
can't. I love you too much, bro, and I don't want to come to mince words with you on
No,
that
no, go
subject.
ahead.
I
Keep it
never
tight.
say a good thing about that Joker
My
ever. I
it was
I
a
can't.
decent. He was a decent Joker for what
At the
because
time when we all starved for one, but even when he came out with it, I didn't agree with it. And I knew a lot of people now that were like they hate it, but before they loved it. They loved that Joker. And that's what my problem is. If you don't say you love it or you hate it now because it's not the cool thing.
exactly.
I had a problem with that Joker when it came out. It's just
That's
not
what
it's not anything that I would ever see that the Joker would be and also I still love Heath over him because my thing is if Heath got the screen time that he did for a base movie, Heath would have been better. Just
you think
because
so?
I think so, because if he got to have the same setup Joaquin did, I think it would have been the same success. If you could go from okay, so like say they, because that's what they do in a lot of Hollywood movies, anyways, and TV shows. Is that's how Angel got his start. Is he starred in Buffy, and then he
Hmm.
got his own show with Angel.
Yep.
The Joker stars in Dark Knight, and because that was so good and he didn't die, he would have got his own movie innately or been in the next Dark Knight. But I
Yeah.
think that they would have tried to go in a different way with the villain anyways, and Sony would or whoever would have been like, well, let's do another, let's see what we can do with a Joker spinoff to, maybe it's not creating how he became to be, but this is a solely Joker movie and we want Heath Ledger. Cause cause I get what you're saying though. I don't think he would have been pushed to the GOAT status that he is now because he died. But a lot of people still like based off of the previews before he did die, people still love that Joker.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite Joker. I will go back and watch just his scenes alone to this day. I know
Yeah.
every. It's just it's like what he said. He would go off a script so much. Like it's just a lot that Heath Ledger did to make to bump the like. So my thing is, whenever I think of any character, did you help or harm that character? You know what I mean? And my thing is I don't even remember his name because it was so bad sometimes. The Suicide Squad Joker, did he help the
Jared
Joker
Leto.
persona or harm it
Yeah.
in totality? I'm not saying his intentions. I don't care about any of that. What I'm saying is at the end of the day, did you do good by the Joker? Did you not so much? And that's at the current standing, people don't see that Joker as a good Joker, with or without the Joaquin one. People still didn't like that one. And with this new one coming out, the Suicide Squad Joker, he had a problem with this one. You know what I
See,
mean?
I
So
think
it's
I
just
think
like,
people won't. I think people don't like that Joker because it's like it's just like in sports, right? Like,
yeah,
damn, in the NFL and at the NFL
yeah,
draft, this guy runs a 4.25 40-yard dash, and I'm next. How
yep,
the hell I'm supposed to? And like, there's
right,
no way. I mean, the Heath Ledger Joker did so good. Whoever comes after him is going to be like,
yes,
if they
yes.
would have dropped the Joaquin Phoenix movie after the Heath Ledger one, I think people wouldn't even like the Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Okay,
It's just
I agree with everything you're saying, but my problem is like I agree with only slight parts of the general population. So it sounds like I'm kind of on that wave, but it's like I'm not because I've always been bitching about certain things that happen with the Joker. It's just like
yeah,
now it's just like okay, so it's like the dude that's been like the end of the world is coming, the end of the world's coming until one day the end of the world come and then he like, see, I told you the end of the world was coming. You know what I mean? It's like that with me with the Joker and some of the Spider-Man stuff. It's like I never liked it. I never did.
yeah.
Like people are
That's why
gonna
I'm
look
not.
back a few years and be like, I didn't like the Venom movie. And I've been saying like it was good, but it did more harm to Venom than it did good because you messed up his origin story. You
Yeah,
almost messed up symbiote and symbiote before the movie even came out. You know what I mean? Like you didn't that movie no justice. Now you got to introduce Spider-Man and you got to do a whole thing for that and it's probably not going to make sense. Let's be
it's
real.
not.
They're going to try, but it's not going to make sense at the end of the day. So my thing is in a few years it'll be a hype train of we didn't really like the Venom movie even though so many people wanted to rave about it whenever it was out.
Yeah,
I
exactly,
like I appreciate it for what it was. I don't
exactly.
think it's no by no means what I would want in a Venom movie. As soon as you told me Spider-Man wasn't in, I was like, why are you making it?
That's just like with me with the
It's not a
just take
symbiote world, you
just
know.
take the movie for what it is. Like I
Right.
don't. People hate the Fantastic Four movie with Michael B. Jordan. Like Black Johnny Storm. It was yes, it's a terrible movie, but take it for what it's worth. I take the Power Ranger movie for what I'm not looking for the
Right.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers
Right.
in
Right.
this Power Ranger movie. I'm looking
Yeah.
at it for the fact that I'm a Power Ranger fan and I'm gonna watch it and I'm
Right.
gonna enjoy it. So when it comes to those type, stop like I'm not a Deadpool fan at all. I don't like Deadpool at all. And so I don't know much about him but what people have told me.
Right.
And watching the movie, and I'm like, yo, this dude said, I counted. I'm like, yo, he said like 5 serious lines. It's all one punch jokes throughout this whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went and talked to my boy Josh, who was big into comics in the 80s and 90s, and that has the first 25 issues of Deadpool. And he's like, yo, the Deadpool in that movie is nothing like the Deadpool that I grew up on from Rob Liefeld. And I don't know where they got that version from, but that's not my version. So when people tell me like, "Yo, that's Deadpool, that's Deadpool," like, are you talking about the Deadpool from 2014 up? Maybe from the comics? Because in
Right.
1994, when Deadpool came out and he was in New Mutants, his fourth wall dimension, all that wasn't as prolific as it is now. And it's like,
Yes.
Lord Jesus.
That's what I try to tell people, but they don't be listening. And then like the Spider-Man, Iron Man, father son thing in the MCU, I hated it. I hate it, and I still hate it. Spider-Man: Homecoming wasn't even a movie about him. It was the Stark internship. That's all I heard. The whole thing. The whole thing. And Funko Cop, I mean, you an intelligent, bright young man, and you cultured, and you know the scene. Can you please tell me in what instance in history did Spider-Man ever look up to Iron Man as some savior, or like he didn't like Spider-Man? I'm almost for certain is most definitely smarter in the gadget of making stuff because he would make stuff that Iron Man had never even seen in his basement. While
Yeah,
Iron Man has a whole kingdom of technology.
I see where you're
You
getting with
know?
that, and I will have to agree to the homie Toy Hunter on this one. We got into a talk about that. It's These movies are made for the casual fan. They're not made for the comic book fans. These
See, I like
movies are made to bring in the people that don't know much about Iron Man, don't know much about Spider-Man, that from what they know, and have them fall in love and bring the revenue back in. So we have to kind of separate ourselves and see. That's why Marvel did so great in the universe, because not only that they gave the casual fans a movie, they gave the hardcore fans the Easter eggs. Like just the other day, I was watching Avengers 1, right? And like I hit the homie Toy Hunter up. I was like, "Yo, did you notice this?" And if you
right.
go back and look at Avengers 1, when at the end credit scene, when the dude was talking to Thanos, he was like, "To court them will be to court death." In that background, Thanos turned around and smiled. I just saw a picture the other day because I was actually a gift, and I noticed it. It looked like Thanos was talking to Eternity, because
Yeah,
if you go look at a picture, I never noticed that before.
yes.
You see a silhouette of a man in a universe, and I'm like, mind blown, and I'm figuring that out now.
Hmm. I know in one of the movies too that they pointed toward they did a hint of Galactus as well. I'm almost for certain of it.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember which one, but I know that
I
they
think they
had
did. They did it like they'll do in Age of Ultron, when they're talking about the stones. You see the stones break, and you see a gold hand. So
hmm
you see like an image of the gauntlet when the stones are going, like they're breaking up. I think Thor is talking about the
hmm
stones, and
what each
Thor,
one means and where and how they
yeah,
work.
and it shows them falling into a universe, but in the
Yeah.
where they fall at is in like a golden spectrum, and it looks like a balled up fist. Though that's for the comic book fan. Those moments are for the comic book fan. The Like I was telling Chunky Swole the other day, because he's a big Gladiator Hulk Thor Ragnarok fan. He
Nice.
didn't understand. He didn't know the comic book realm of it, and I was like, Planet Hulk
Yes.
is
Yeah.
Ragnarok,
Yes. Yeah.
and if you go read Planet Hulk, it's just flipped,
Yep.
because in Planet Hulk he fights a friend, and
Yep.
in Ragnarok he fights a friend as the
hmm
champion. So those are for us, the
Yes.
comic,
I
the
remember when the
movie.
Planet Hulk comic books came out, man. That was so crazy. I
I
was like,
wasn't.
somebody was like, "There's a planet." I was like, "It's a Planet Hulk." Like, what you mean it's a Planet Hulk? He was like, "Yeah, it's other Hulks." I was like, "It's other Hulks." I was like, "Oh, hold on, bro. Wait, hold on." Yeah, so I feel you, bro. Real talk. Yeah.
So the movies, like to go back to your question, like yeah, Tony Stark and Iron Man and Spider Man, them collaborating and that father son dynamic, that might be for the casual fan, not the comic book fan.
But they pissing on his grave, damn it, Funko Cop. That's my goat. They can't be. They got Iron Man son in him, and Iron Man is just the dude in the suit. Like he the Marvel Batman. Like you
Yeah,
can't be
yeah.
getting sunned by the Marvel Batman.
Which makes you know what I can't.
He getting sunned, bro. Like he Robin. He getting sunned. Like he doing the oh, all right, kid. Took his suit from him. Like this is his homecoming movie, and Iron Man takes his suit. What are you doing to me,
But
man?
I can see why though, because in the comics they needed to go back for the comic book fan to show the iconic picture of Peter Parker one side, Spider Man on the other. And I see how they went with okay, let's see how can we incorporate that part of the movie. We have to make him weaken. We have to make him reflect on himself. How can we make him weaken, reflect on himself? Let's take away the suit. Okay, got it. Because
Well, couldn't they have the suit be destroyed in battle?
they could
I
have,
agree with the premise,
they
but the
could have.
problem is when you in the action to do it, you got Iron Man summoning him to teach him a lesson. Like I don't get no, like come on now, come on. Like you could have easily had the suit destroyed or like stolen or something like
But
that,
for
or
him, but
Iron
I
Man could
think
have took it in him not knowing he had to overcome, but to come by and be like, no, you need to give it to me. Like,
remember, it's like a universe. What you have to think about it like a universe, bro. You have to remember when Tony took his suit. I look at it from you did. He had to go through that trial and tribulation himself in Iron Man 3. I had to be Tony Stark and be learn to be myself without a suit, and that's what made me the man
I
I am
know what
today.
they was doing like all along. They just want him to be the new leader of the Avengers and all that sort of thing. And I don't have a problem with it necessarily. It's just like I'm a diehard, bro. So
So
you know, I get
let
a
me
little
ask you this
riled.
thing. Let me ask you this thing: MCU Iron Spider or the comic Iron Spider? Which one looks doper? What? That's a hard question, bro.
It is.
That's
It
a
is.
hard question.
Because you can play with both of them on that Marvel Spider-Man game,
Yes.
and I just go back and forth like, but see, no, here's the thing though. So I realized something the other day that the comic Iron Spider suit, it has the arc reactor in that
Yep.
as well, and so does the current Iron Spider suit in the MCU. So I was like, like I like Iron Man as a character and I like Robert Downey Jr. I like it separate of Spider-Man. So I never had a problem with it like that. So it's just like when he got the suit, I was just like, okay, now you trying to butter me up, like you know what I mean? Now you just trying to get on my good side after you just slapped me in the face a little bit. Now you want to buy me roses and call me pretty, what I mean, pat my ass and shit. Like, forget you. You know what I mean? Like
That's
that
and that's
that's
what
a hard question. What he talking about is this one right here, and then
classic
uh
suit. Let
and
me
then
see
the
this.
other one. Here's the Iron Spider, but it got the legs. So
Yeah. Whew.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a tough one, man.
It
That's
is, bro. I do you one better though. The only way I'm in on the Iron Spider in the MCU mode is with the Gauntlet and Kill mode.
yep.
Okay.
When they did that in Endgame was fire.
Yes,
Was
that pop, the pop.
the pop. I wish
Oh,
if
it's
they
so
would have made because
so.
if Funko would have made that pop a light up pop and you could press the button, his eyes turn red.
Just thinking that or a glow, make the Gauntlet rubies glow, and then his eyes or something.
Yeah, I'm
Ooh,
like, you know
ooh.
what? I would rather much have it because we get so many glow pops. I would rather much have it as the light up LED. I
Yeah,
press the button from
same.
and then boom, like his eyes are in like a dark
Like that
ruby.
Mysterio and the Iron
Yep.
Man stuff. Yeah,
I'm like
same
that.
here.
That would have been fire. That would have probably been like, and I could only imagine. And that's why I love the Marvel Marvel side of because people think like, oh, you're a Marvel person, you don't know much about anime. And that's why I like Gundam so much because have a universe, and then in the Marvel universe they have it's. I like things to intertwine. I
Yes.
like to see something from like you're telling me that when they made when they wrote Age of Ultron, in the Marvel Studios, they were already planning for Banner to be the Silver Surfer of the Infinity Gauntlet, of him getting beat up by Thanos and being sent to Doctor Strange. That is mind-boggling to me. They already had that plotted out. That like, okay, we're gonna send him up to space. We'll do a version of Planet Hulk. He fights he fights Thanos. Since we don't have the rights to Silver Surfer,
Right.
how can we get him? How can we get the comic book fans to know that we paying homage to the Infinity Gauntlet series? Because in a Gauntlet series, Silver Surfer got his ass whipped by Thanos and sent to the fucking Doctor Strange's crib. And he's the one that told Doctor Strange Thanos is coming. We don't have his rights. So how can we do that? We're gonna send Hulk up there and he's gonna be the one. And that was like years before they probably had it all
It's-
outlined.
I'm so excited for. I know a lot of people kind of like are so stuck on the MCU Avengers that they made, you know what I mean? Because that's another thing, people don't really know who the real Avengers are,
Mm-hmm.
like from like back in the day, and then like
Beat
the
and all
early
that.
2000s.
Yeah.
People don't know like like Black Panther was already initiated in the
Yeah.
Avengers. Then there wasn't this whole thing. Spider-Man was already in. It wasn't this whole thing. So I really can't wait that now they got X-Men, they have Fantastic Four, they got the whole like Infinity saga like out of the way. So now you can like bring people in and out of time and stuff now. So they get to do a lot of
They,
you got the universes you can reach now. They
yeah.
got I mean Ant-Man is doing that whole thing where he can go subatomic and everything. So
So what's
everything is about to
crazy
open up.
exactly. So what's crazy now is Marvel Studios is sitting down right now thinking about a movies for 2030.
Yes.
They're already thinking about 2030 and
Yes.
thinking about, all right, how can we get Blade into this movie so smoothly, like how we did with the other movies? And that right there,
I
I'm like,
can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. They got the perfect dude. If you couldn't get what's his
Wesley,
name? Yes, yes. If you couldn't get him back, then yes.
they
Perfect.
got yeah,
Perfect.
they got
Perfect
the
choice.
and it was crazy is people were posting, I need to see this, I need to see Ali as Blade. I need to see Ali as Blade. For
Just go
months,
watch Cage. Go watch him in Luke Cage, bro. He did
time out.
phenomenal. Like, bro, Luke Cage, I was so hurt that they canceled the Netflix shows because Luke Cage was one I was deep in, like Mariah Stole.
I was into Luke Cage. I wanted to start Jessica Jones because I picked up the Jessica Jones series that came out. I read it up to like issue like 7, 8, and then I wanted to watch Jessica Jones. I didn't do Iron Fist and I didn't do Punisher. I watched Daredevil a little bit, but it got
Yeah,
kind of to me it got plain out. And I'm not a big I'm not big DC at all. So once I started getting that vibe of it being like the Arrowverse, it kind of threw me off. It was like, okay, you're just trying to take what CW is doing and apply it to Netflix.
right.
And
Yeah,
so it kind of threw me off a little bit, but like it was dope because the first fight scene when he fought all them people in the hallway, that was dope. But to me, like I'm not that type of person that I enjoy a good movie, but then I don't enjoy when you try to push the movie onto me. Like and not the and
yes, yes,
not the fans. Like I'm not a big John Wick fan
right.
because I'm not into like the guns and the shooting and the blowing up. Like when Denzel did Equalizer,
Eh,
eh. But
I
it's
didn't
like
watch that because I felt
what
like
was
it was just like a John Wick sort of thing too, and I was
yeah.
like,
So it's like equal Book of Eli. Like at least
yeah,
that had a plot to
yeah,
it. You know what I'm saying?
And
But
it was different. It
yeah,
wasn't the typical, but that's why I like John Wick. John Wick is a totally different. I know it's like it has that, I mean, that shooting thing, so it's like you kind of, but it's like it's this whole universe, and it's like it's like really it's really deep, bro. It's crazy stuff. It's just like
my boy
it's
let me
one of those
borrow.
shows like it's a twist, and it just keeps
I
happening.
have
So
to
it's just
watch the second one. I watched the first one, and it was like, okay, I understand they took you took your car, killed your dog. Now you just becoming back like you just Superman now. Like now and you have so that was so my like it was almost like you can do all this stuff. Like I don't know, it's like my mom went back to like Hitman video games and like I'm like, all right, bang bang, shoot 'em up, we got it, we on to the next scene. Bang bang, shoot 'em up, we on to the next scene. So that like I don't know those type of movies. I'm just different when it comes to movies. I enjoy like the Michael Bay Transformer movies. I enjoy those movies. People hate on them.
I don't like the ones with John. I didn't watch the John Cena Bumblebee one. The when
I
Mark
saw that
Wahlberg
one.
started to get in it, I didn't fall into it as much, but I watched all the original ones up into a point, and then I seen pretty much all of them in theater. So I
Yeah,
like those movies too, for sure,
I,
because
I
those are
like the
different as well.
I like the aspect of because I'm like I'll big into history, so
Hmm.
I like how they go into like
Yeah.
Egyptian history. You know, the JFK and the Dark Side of the Moon,
Hmm.
the Mystic Knights of the Round Table, and the
Yeah,
last.
all of it was, yeah, I like that
I,
too.
I like how they
And they would
incorporate the
go to those places as well and find Transformers, and
yeah
then the ancient Transformers, like all that stuff was dope, bro. I thought they did a good job with the story, especially when Shia LaBeouf was there, because it was just a consistent story that built on each other. So you didn't have to keep reintroducing characters that we already know. That's why, like, I know a lot of people is gonna be at my head for this, especially as a Spider-Man fan, but in the new game, and I hope I'm not ruining spoilers for nobody, but Aunt May dies in that, and I'm
yeah
kind of glad she does, because I'm tired of the Uncle Ben and Aunt May thing, and I feel like every time they start over, they just want to start it there, and like they start it, which is cool, but then they also stop as soon as they think that people don't like want to see certain movies keep going, so then they pull the plug on something because of the money or whatever. And it's sometimes not even the money, sometimes it's just the popularity. It's just like, y'all
yeah
gotta stop with that. If you started a freaking story, like keep going. Like, I wanna see Madam Web, I wanna see Spider Gwen, I wanna see Spider Woman,
yeah
I wanna see Peter Parker get married to Mary Jane so we can have Spider Girl because his daughter gets powers. Like,
yeah.
I wanna see Spider-Man lose his arm
Lose
and leg and
house
stuff in
segment.
battle with
Yeah,
Green Goblin. Like, this is stuff I want to see that I won't ever see, because every time we get something good, whether it be a game or movie, y'all gotta reboot it.
yeah.
Why? Like, you don't even have a good movie like reason. Like, we fired the last people, we'll buy the rights. Like, what are you doing? I don't
You
care.
you're
You
right.
know? If
Yeah,
so, then just leave it alone. Just do something that you keep updating and leave it alone then. Like, this is just getting out of hand. Like, my only complaint with comic book stuff is why I like anime, because anime is one anime show. Like, DBZ is its own thing. You can't say DBZ and Bleach intertwine anywhere.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you could speculate the power
It
level of
yeah,
Naruto.
yeah,
Yeah, you could do all this stuff, but Daredevil, Captain America, Spider Man, all that stuff, they intertwine. And then the problem is they keep going with these stories, and anybody can buy the rights and make a comic book of Drax, but it won't match the same Drax storyline from back in the day. So it's
yeah.
just so many. The multiverse is cool, but it's detrimental to a certain point in time as well, because at some point in time we gotta have, like, it's the same thing we was talking about earlier, where we don't know what they're doing power level wise in DBZ. Like, I don't know who's the strongest really at
Yeah,
this point. Just like in the Marvel universe, we don't even need to go DC, but Marvel universe, you got like the God Doom, and you have Captain Universe, Spider Man, and you have Galactus, and you got all these
yeah.
people, and then
You
you
don't
got
even know.
who's like what's that one? The strongest being. It's the strongest
One
being in Marvel.
not it always reminds me of My Hero. Not it's not all for one, the one above all.
Yeah,
That
that's what it is. Yes,
that's
the one above all. Yes,
the one
he's the
above all.
strongest being. But they said God, Doom, Captain Universe, Captain
Well,
Universe, Spider Man, especially, and people of that nature are stronger than a Thor and a
well,
Hulk. And
there's a reason why, which I don't want to. You know what? I don't care about spoiling it because the comic's been out for quite so. The God Doom is from the Secret Wars realm,
yeah.
and
I
he,
read up on it whenever I got the pop, so I understand. But it's the multiverse stuff that get me, like to where
yeah,
it's just like a black God Doom. You know what I mean? Somebody will
yeah,
come up with that one day, and it's just like, stop it, you guys. I don't know what's going on no more. It's mostly storyline, not even
yeah.
as far as power structure, because I don't even get caught up in that. It's more
That's
so. It's
why
just like it's so many different Jokers, there's so many different Spider-Man, so many different Batman, like
I
and
understand, and that's what
it's
kind of keeps you tethered to the anime. So which makes sense. Which
yeah.
makes sense.
I like
And that
well, I like something be able to start it and go and something be consistent and I can make sense of it. And whenever I have talks, I mean, there's a definitive answer. It's either you know or you don't know. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like with anime. In Marvel, I feel like it's always I don't know answer for the most part. Not stuff like what animal was Peter Parker bitten by? Not stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like who was the strongest and what would happen in this situation and like you don't have any real like elements or backstory to go off to or others like cross-reference situations to be like, well, God Doom wouldn't be able to do that here because what I mean, whatever. Like
I
and
think that's what makes. And I'm sorry to cut you off. That's what makes the for me the Gundam universe so dope because there's a main storyline which is Universal Century, and then you have Gundam Wing, which
yep.
everybody grew up on, which isn't part of the Universal Century. And
No,
then
it's its
so
own
you
thing, which
have
I too as a
so
kid.
you
That's
have
crazy.
like you sit there and be like, I wonder if Wing Zero would have fought Granddaddy Gundam, who would have won? Like what
But
level? That's one thing I like about it too, and
I
that's why I'm
like
trying.
it, but other people will literally take it to heart. Like I don't really know if Spider-Man is the GOAT, but I feel like he's the GOAT.
Yeah,
What I don't like is whenever I say like D Wade is the GOAT or Spider-Man is the GOAT or Trunks is the GOAT, and somebody be like, "Oh no, F that, like he trash for this reason, like Deadpool would straight killed him, he killed him in this comic book, blah blah blah, this and that." And I was like, bro, like that is so unnecessary. Like I can also point to a comic book where Spider-Man killed everybody in the Marvel universe. What that don't matter right now. I'm just
yeah,
simply saying how I feel about
and
somebody.
and and that's what and I'm like an objective type of person. Like my buddies know, and like my boy Court knows. If anybody says anything about like we'll talk, and they'll finish their sentence with, "That's just my opinion." That tells me you no longer want to have a debate about what we're talking about.
Right,
You're ready to shut down because and that tells me I can't change your mind. I can't
right,
sit there, but when we go back and like we'll go back and forth, me and my buddy Holloway, Durka on Instagram, the top Marvel movies, and then he'll say, "In my opinion, it's this." I can't argue that because it's
right,
your opinion.
right.
But I like to argue like or debate. I don't like using the word argue. Debate the facts and like what made this movie stand out more
Sense.
than this movie.
I like to do that as well. Where
So
like so
when
like
people
my bad. Go ahead.
when people say like Vegeta versus Goku, Goku's my favorite. Me and you know just that's just my opinion. All right, then you don't want to hear the facts. Then you just don't want
Right,
to hear the facts. You don't want to hear, Vegeta train. Yes, he might not have sent it to this level, but maybe that's not where the storyline was supposed to go. Maybe they didn't plan on that for it to go Vegeta to go Super Saiyan 3. You just like I like Goku. That's just my opinion. My Hero Academia is my favorite anime. That's just my opinion.
right,
Then that tells me you don't want to even talk about other animes because you already have your mind convinced and
right.
you're already shutting down on me on trying to convince you about go watch Gundam. Like go watch be open to things. Like
Right.
when Dark Shades, and no, nothing against him, when he says like Code Geass is a mecha anime, it's, I don't know, like I have to talk to my boy Court because he considers that Code Geass the GOAT. That's the greatest anime he ever seen. And it's not really a mecha anime. They have robots they get into and they fight, but it's not Gundam. The storyline isn't is the storyline is a chess match. And that's what every episode is. You watch it, it's a chess match between the main character and what he has going on. And they open up that series to him playing chess and how good he is at chess. So you see the character, his name is Lelouch, go through this whole first season as playing chess. So you could look past the fact that they're at war and they have robots called nightmares that they get into and fight, and you could, I guess, coin it a mecha anime. But I don't look at it as a. It's not a Gundam. It's not a Robotech. It's not a Voltron. Like those are mecha animes to me. Um, like I'm big fan of Iron Man. Ultraman pulled me in because I'm like, all right, you know what? I went, we was out at B.S. Miller, Droobs, and I we was out at Trilogy Comic on a hunt one day, and um I saw this figure, and I was like, you know what? That's a dope figure, man. And I knew that C.S. Miller was a big Ultraman fan. He was like, man, that's not me, man. That's not the rubber suit I grew up on. I grew up on a rubber suit. I'm not like I watched the Netflix one. It was pretty dope. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'll watch the Netflix one because I'm an Iron Man fan. So the Netflix Ultraman is nothing more than just a anime high school version of Iron Man. For
Oh
real,
wow.
for real. It's not like a it's not like a like this kid's a millionaire and he built a suit or something like it's nothing like that. But the action in it for 13 episodes, it wound up being one of my favorite animes, and it just, you know, they got me going deep into like the manga and reading the manga and Gundam, going like Gundam Origins. Like I've been trying to tell people to watch Gundam Origins. The Gundam Origins on Hulu isn't, it's a good 6 part series, but when people say, "Oh, it's a mecha anime," yeah, Gundam itself is a mecha anime, but you don't see any because Gundam Origins is a prequel, and I'm not the it's not really like a spoiler. The first episode is the last part of Gundam Origins. So you don't even see a Gundam for real until you get to that last 10 minutes of the show, which picks up at episode 1 of 1979 Gundam. So if you want a good story, and you want to watch a good story, Gundam Origins has a great story in it. You barely see any Gundams because they're coming up with the concept of it. They're coming up with this party has these machines. We have to come up with our machine, and this is how I'm doing it. But you don't see like boom 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 Gundams fighting like Gundam Wing. You follow a certain character through his path in each series, and it's you get to a certain that last part, it's you go watch 1979 Gundam.
Right. I
So
hear you. Oh yeah, yeah.
so I've been, like I said, I'm a casual anime fan. I'm not huge into it. Like I'm assuming all I can assume now is a lot of people watching Hunter x Hunter because of the pops that are coming out. I'm assuming is that why like Dark Savior's been watching it now. I don't know, like because
I
you I
don't
know
know.
yesterday you said you watched it. You watched it when it first aired, right? When it was
No, no, no. I watched it back in like August or something. So
back in August. I
yeah,
know my
my
boy told me,
my cousin recommended that I watched it because they watched it years ago, and
yeah,
I was just getting back into being able to watch more anime. So I was like, "What's some good stuff?" And they recommended that. So they didn't even like there was no word of any my or Hunter x Hunter
pop,
pop yet. So
yeah. So like I don't know if like um because my boy told me about Bleach a long time ago, and I never watched it. And I was like, all right, like I watch anime, but I'll just it has to pull me into it. That's the thing. And like I watch Psychopaths, which is a crazy anime on Funimation. Not a lot of people know about it, but he told me. Well, I don't know if a lot of the people know about it, but
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
it's
I
a
have
it's a
heard of it.
it's a crazy concept about police work and like mental status. Like it's a show where everybody in the town is being kind of watched, and when their body levels and their mental levels peak to where they feel like they about to go crazy, the police they get called out to it.
Uh,
So so there's people that can manipulate it, and it's crazy. It's a dope show. If you have Funimation, it's on Funimation. Anybody watching this, go watch Psychopaths. That's a dope show.
have
And then
you ever seen Doctor Stone? I think that's what it's called.
I heard about it. I
I
know
heard about it too. I haven't watched it yet
I
though.
haven't watched it. That's like another show. I don't know if it was. I know it got popular on. I think Crunchy. It was like one of Crunchyroll's like top five at one point. I'm
Okay.
not big into the whole outside of Dragon Ball Z, and I guess you could say Gundam Wing and the Gundam universe. I'm not big into the whole mainstream animes. It
Right.
takes a while. That's why I said like I'm barely into season two of Bleach because that was a mainstream anime at the time, and like my hero is mainstream. I haven't seen. I seen the scene everybody talks about in Demon Slayer.
I have
Um,
not seen Demon Slayer because it's too. Yeah, I
it's
don't watch the mainstream stuff either. But I just finished watching Naruto and Shippuden just this past year. Whenever I watched Hunter x Hunter in August. So like
I haven't
I've never
finished
seen
that.
Bleach because whenever I was growing up, Bleach and Naruto was so overblown. I couldn't deal with it. It was just
I
everywhere
remember
I went.
I was in the no lie, I think the fourth grade, and I was reading Naruto in the Shonen Jump books that I used to get from 7-Eleven. And I didn't know anything about it. All I knew was I finished this chapter of Dragon Ball Z. I finished this chapter of Yu-Gi-Oh, and they had like three other shows in it or other animes in it. So I
Right.
would read that and then be like, "This is dope," and I would like try to like draw it and stuff like that. So I wasn't into Naruto when it became big here because by the time it came big here, like I don't know, like when y'all were talking yesterday, I don't remember animes being on Adult Swim because
Really?
by the time I got to that age of where animes probably converted to Adult Swim, I was so heavy into playing football, I wasn't watching animes. So that's why I'm like when people say, "Yo, what did you watch growing the Midnight Run?" From 12 to 6. Like, no, you're talking about Adult Swim. No, bro. Midnight
Toonami.
Rum, Toonami. I'm talking about before Toonami came on. You watched Old Canada on Cartoon Network. You watched some
Yep.
random cartoon show called Old Canada about Canadian cartoons, and
Yep.
then boom, Toonami comes on, and that was a fight. That was like I'm
Yep.
gonna stay up from 12 to 6, and I'm
Yep.
gonna watch anime. I want to watch Tenchi Universe, Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi in Tokyo,
Yep.
Big O, uh, Outlaw Star. Like that's
That's
what
what I'm saying.
I grew.
I said that yesterday. Nobody remembers Attention Universe. I said that yesterday. I was like, bro, like what? Y'all don't remember all this old, like super old animes? Like that's
And
how
it
I figured out
goes.
about Yu Yu Hakusho and Rurouni Kenshin, Cowboy Bebop, like all this old school stuff. Like that's where I watched it. Like Outlaw
Yeah,
Star, I think you said yesterday. Like Cyborg 009, Fluey
yeah.
Cooey the first time it was on. Like
I
all that stuff, you know what I mean? We actually watched Gilligan's Island on Nickelodeon, and then we would turn it to
turn it to
Toonami because my brother
exactly.
was like 14 or 15 at the time. So so this is how it happened, right? First in America, we got Cartoon Network, and
Hmm.
then they introduced the late night run on Toonami, like
Yep.
maybe 6 months into having Cartoon Network. And my brother caught it one night, and we was like, "Oh, they got we Dragon," because I seen Dragon Ball Z, the Frieza saga at night at midnight. I didn't see the Frieza saga like in the daytime. I seen
That's what
Frieza
I
beat
did. That's
Goku
when I
in
jumped.
the yeah, like they eventually went to the daytime at the end of the Frieza saga, right before the Cell saga. But up until then, like the Saiyan saga, all that stuff, like Goku dying, was all at
Yeah,
night.
you're right. You know
Was
what? You're
all
right.
midnight
That was
run.
a midnight run. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Because I remember watching. I remember watching the Spirit Bomb at night as a
Yes.
kid. I remember watching the first when he hit the Vegeta with a Spirit Bomb at night. Um, and a lot of people, and that's what I'm like, yo, how did you watch the movies? Like, I remember Lord Slug. I remember
Yep.
the Tree of
Planet
Might.
Might or Tree of Might.
Like, I'm like, yo, where did you originally watch the movies on? Like, did you stream the movies? Because if you stream, because it's funny because I talk to my boy now, and like, I remember going to his crib, and he would boot up the real player on the old computer, and he
Yeah.
found clips of
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, of Boo Saga, and that
Yeah.
would be the way we watched it on the
Yeah.
computer. Real player and download, take an hour
LimeWire,
to
my
down,
guy. LimeWire.
even before LimeWire. I'm talking
Yeah,
about like
yeah,
you
but I
gotta
mean,
go to
like that
like
was just around that time where it's just like those was one of well, LimeWire people use that to get the Naruto stuff whenever that came out. But yeah, I know what you mean though, for real,
I'm
bro.
talking about you gotta go onto like
Yes,
gogetadomain.com, click on
yes,
links, and then
yes, yeah.
find your way
I forgot all about that, bro. Yes, yes,
find
bro.
your way
Yes,
around to get the
yes.
download to get to the Boo Saga, and it might only be the Vegito fight, and you're like, yo, it's dope because he just told me he was like, man, I remember watching Yu-Gi-Oh, and it was them on WB going
Yep,
to the island to go against Pegasus,
yep,
but they already in Canada had the Battle City, and it
yep.
was already dubbed. So I watched Battle City, and he was shocked that they already had it. So I'm like, yo, like people now, like that's why I get why anime is so popular now because of the streaming services. But like round circle to what we talked about in the beginning, it was so hard to find these things growing up, like the VHS tapes, the
Yes.
um
Whew.
the
Man,
the
yeah,
episodes that are already subbed in Japan to where like I said earlier, when go to a convention 8, 9 years ago, it was $70 for a Dragon Ball Z statue. And because of the rarity, and now everything is being streamed and the prices drop, people forget. Like that's how I know point five means half. Because Toonami would say Dragon Ball Z weekdays 5.5. Like I'm thinking I remember 5.5 means 5:30. Like that's what that means. Or like I'll go back. What's crazy is, and people think I'm probably crazy, I'll go back on YouTube and type in Fox Kids commercials
oh,
1994.
bro, yeah,
And
no, yeah,
it'll be like
love
November
it.
16th, 1995, Fox Kids, and it'll be all the commercials for an hour. And I'll just sit. That's why when Dark Shades was like, "Yo, I can't watch the ads," I'm sitting up there like, I watched 1994 commercials. Like
Bro.
that, I might start my day off watching that, reminiscing about because I'll talk to my boy like now, like, do they have toy commercials? I don't see like I don't see toy commercials. I
No,
don't
not really,
like.
no.
I remember getting my mom getting the J.C. Penney thick magazine, and in the back of it will have all the toys. Like, how do the kids? I guess Amazon shop now. I don't know, and that's
Well,
and
it's more electronic size. Like after like two or three parents ain't even like, well, we'll just get them some sort of a tablet. Like that's the
yeah, I
number
understand
one
that.
thing right now
Yeah,
is like
and
get
I
get a
can't,
tablet.
and that's me, and I give little mama her iPad and let her
It
go.
be like that though, bro. It be like
It does, and it makes sense because everybody wants to kind of take that break, and that's not what we grew up on. So Fox Kids back in the day, and watching like I would love for Funko to drop some Beast Wars pops, man.
oh
if they do, give me Maximus Prime, give me Cheetor, give me Rat Trap,
That
give
was me
me
and my brother's show every day
what?
after school. Beetleborgs, uh, uh, you just said it, Beast Wars. They had Big Guy and
VR
Rusty,
VR
Digimon,
Troopers,
bro.
all of it, bro.
Yes, bro.
People and like
Then you
people
had the
sit back.
Kids WB. Then you had
I wasn't even
ABC had a Saturday morning cartoons,
yeah,
bro.
I wasn't even hip. That's how focused I was back in like when I liked something back in the day. I wasn't even hip to other things. Like I didn't know One Piece came on TV, and
Yeah, yeah.
by the time I watched WB, it was during that stage where X Men Evolution was first, Static Shock, Yu Gi Oh. That's when I watched
Shaolin
WB.
Monks,
Shaolin Monks. That's when I
Jackie
started
Chan
watching
Adventures.
that's when I watched WB. So everything prior to that was Fox Kids.
So, fun fact though, the reason why you probably don't remember that is because what they did was is they took Fox Kids, they took it off for 6 months, and they turned it into 4 Kids TV. 4 Kids TV then aired Shaman King, Ninja Turtles, Ultimate Muscle, One Piece, Sonic X,
I
all
remember Sonic
those
X.
shows.
I
Yeah,
remember
all
Sonic
those.
X.
It was Fox Box. That's what it was called. It was called the Fox Box. Yeah, because I remember I would be watching like we just said, all those the Fox Kids shows, Big Guy Rusty, Beast Wars,
Hmm.
all that. They took all that off. They took all of that off, and then they introduced a new era of Digimon. They introduced Ultimate Muscle, One Piece, all this other sort of stuff. And that
Because
and
I'm a big
yeah,
I'm Digimon over Pokemon.
facts, bro. Good to hear. That's a
Yeah,
good day. That's good to hear.
and then and so I watched Digimon up to the card swipe when it started.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. I didn't like that
yeah,
season.
and like
It was
because
okay. I made it through it, but after that, I was done. I was like,
I
y'all went.
recently I went back because to me the Digimon movie I was fucking great until they introduced the new characters, which turned it. But the uh, first part of that movie was so fucking epic to me. And
Yes.
I rewatched it probably like a good 6 months ago, just
How we got
because
Omnimon?
Omnimon.
Oh
We
my gosh. I want that, bro. Bro, so I went to a Comic-Con like 2 years ago, right? And I'm searching all over the place for anything Digimon, anything. This
hmm
before they had the pop. So I was looking for anything, a statue, a poster, a game, a person to autograph it, a cosplayer, something Digimon. I come across this dude at a booth after I got done buying a bunch of stuff and I gave up the search. He has a poster, two of them. Okay, so it's two posters. One poster, it has War Greymon and half of Omnimon. The other poster was Metal War Garurumon and the other half of Omnimon. So it was two posters that went together. He wanted
fine.
like 25 or 30 for them. And I was like, oh, you bastard. You would do this right now. Like, I went through this whole thing looking for one. I bought D Wade pops and this pop and got autographs. And now you want to show me the poster. Get out of my face. I hate you. Get out of here.
That's
So,
how it is. That I
yeah,
like. I'll go to conventions and I always tell myself, look around first. Look around first,
bro.
or unless you go in there for a certain purpose, like there's this booth that's this guy's always there. He told me 2 years ago when I bought my Grail statue, um, yo, I was like, I really want that Shinron, but I'm not going to spend 125 for it. He was like,
Right.
yo, and the dude remembers me. He says, you come here every year looking at that Shinron. Look, next year, come back. I'll sell you the Shinron for 100. It was like 175. He was like, I'll give you the Shinron for 100. Everybody has the same thing. Just come back. So last year, I I had the blue note ready. The blue note was crisp, ironed, ready to give to him. And I'm like, bet. I go in there, me and Drews and my boy Court, we're looking around like, yo, where's he at? Where's he at? Nowhere to be found. Then we went to a convention. a couple of months back with Beard, and we met, and that's when I got this Sabat signature again. He was there. He was like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, you know what I'm here for." He was like, "I don't have it today, man. I'm not even gonna lie, but I'll be there during NecoCon, and I got you." And I was like, "Damn it," because I was ready, man. I was ready because like statues, like I said, like I have. I'll go get it. The Grail statue.
All right.
Woo!
He said the Grail statue,
This is
bro.
the. This is
That is
what made me. This is what made me want to start collecting. All right,
okay.
it's this big boy right here.
Yes, bro. That's fire.
This right here is what made me want to.
That's damn near gonna be the thumbnail, bro. Hold that up. That's gonna be the thumbnail, bro. Yes, sir.
This
Go
is
ahead. Sorry.
one of my, if not my favorite Dragon Ball Z statue in my collection because I sought after this statue for 5, 6 years before I pulled the trigger, and every year he'll have it like this with $175 orange tab on it. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then boom, I was like, to hell with it. I'm going for it. I saved
Right.
up money. I worked a hell of amount of overtime at work. I'm like, I don't give a damn. And he was like, I'll give it to you for 125. And he took $50 off and threw in like two prints. But this right here is what started the wave of branching out of Funko, really. Because until I got that, I wasn't really thinking about much when it came to like statues. Cause like I have the King Cluster Broly right here,
That's so
which is
dope.
which is the big boy. And then I have the Grandista Gogeta right here.
I seen that around a lot.
Yeah, this one's a dope one. Only
Yeah.
only thing I wish that they do it with other Grandistas, which I want to get. I'm mad because I saw it at Barnes and Noble, $26, and I didn't get it. They have multiple head sculpts for these Grandista ones, but they don't. This didn't come with it. That's one
Dang.
thing I didn't like about it. This I wish they came with a Super Saiyan one or a regular Saiyan one because you could buy Gohan Super Saiyan Gohan with Piccolo's outfit. Then you could take the robe off and put Super Saiyan 2 up there. And I'm like, oh my God. And
That's
then I go
dope.
back and so these statues, man, like they make your collection pop, man. Like that's why I try to tell people, go ahead and get it. Go ahead and get it. Like this Trunks one, I was like, man,
Yeah.
I
I've
had to
been
get this
wanting to get
Trunks.
that forever.
I had to get this Trunks, and especially during Hot Cash. I'm like, that's when I really piled up on my statues during Hot Cash because for $26, if you get a damn clearance keychain pop. I don't know for to make it even 30. Then use Hot Cash to get this for 15 is a steal.
Yeah, for
Is
sure.
a steal. And then this is this is probably one of the another grail in my collection, and it is the Gundam Wing box set, Blu-ray box set to the show. And this right here, I got this for Christmas when they internet like on Amazon, and this is probably the the most expensive thing, not the most expensive thing in my collection, but like it comes with all these prints.
Oh my goodness.
It comes with,
Oh,
I mean, like crazy amount of prints, as you can see, that I want to hang up so bad. I gotta find frames. Each all movies on Blu-ray, plus the Endless Waltz movie, which is in my living room,
that's so dope.
comes with some like cards that I never took out of the pack, and enamel pins, and it
All right.
also came with um Yeah, it was down there. Also came with like an art book of like how like
Nice.
they draw, how they drew the
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say Zoids. That's another dope show.
Yes. Yes.
Sleep on that.
Yes.
Big
Zoids
Cloud
is
and all
one of my favorite shows. I was
so
actually on Zoids in that time over Naruto. So
so
that was
like
me.
I'm not into that, like manga and all that and like anime heavy. But when I'm whatever I like, I like. Like this is a hardcover of Gundam, the original series.
Nice.
I want to collect these. They go for $30 at Barnes and Noble, but
Man, Mobile Suit Gundam was the stuff, boy.
they have these at on Amazon for like 18-20 bucks. So I'll get like one every now and then. And since I kind of already know what happens, I'm not going to go back. Like I'm thinking about going back and rereading them. But I have this. I've completed all my Ultraman mangas up to this day. Like so I branch out, man. Like that's why I tell people branch out and do what you enjoy. Like enjoy what you enjoy and like embrace it all. No, I stopped. Like I was telling Chucky Swore earlier, I stopped caring about the sub count. I stopped caring about the view count.
Yeah,
I stopped
yeah,
caring about the thumb. I do this to get away from work. I do this to meet people. I do like that's why I don't mind. Like, and I tell them, what is 15 seconds of my day for me to hold my phone to my TV and show somebody else to everybody I know? I don't. It doesn't matter if you were a small channel. Well, I only really do it for the smaller channels because the bigger channels is going to get their views. There's no
right.
me
Yeah,
doing it for Top Pops. I
yeah,
don't need to share Top Pops video.
yeah,
I don't need to share Beard's video. They're going to get their views, but I want people to go out and watch the people that are like. Not saying they're not truly passionate in it, but the other passions behind it. Like, what is 15 seconds? What is you taking a screenshot on your phone and posting it on your IG story and say, "Go peep, go watch"? And like, that's why I'm like the whole Funko Collector Society. Like I like they do their stuff and it seems like you are confined in a box once you do that. Like you have to support who's in that group.
yeah.
I
I found that really weird, and I've had some weird stuff in that, like just with all of it, and like I've been trying not to like, cause I haven't had like any true like negative feelings, but I've been trying not to like say, cause I've been asked by a bunch of people that are in or haven't been in or trying to
Mhm.
get in, but like I tried once, and then two other times I got like like recommended and like people in the collector society telling me that I need to like that I should do it and like I would or whatever, but it's like I'm not really expecting on it because like I don't really want to be in it only because of the first time I experienced it, they kind of made it seem like I needed to only be doing pop videos
I don't
and
feel
that I only need to be supporting certain like pop people. And it was just kind of like a weird vibe. And it was just like, you do know I have pop pictures and videos dating back to like 2015. Like none of y'all was even doing any of this in 2015. So
like
you're
with
saying
me
I need
like
to like, I don't
I was
understand.
at work because Drew's and I, we obviously don't work together, but we're on night shifts. And he hit me up and was like, "Yo, I recommended you to this group called the Funko Collector Society. They might hit you up." And I was like, "All right, dope." Like, I heard of like, I seen pictures of like CWO and stuff like that. And then they hit me up and was like, "Hey, he's recommended you." That's why a lot of people don't know I was in it, but I guess due to inactivity, I they just stopped promoting me. Like, so I was like, all right, I'm just out. Like, I'm out because I
Right.
will post a video and they'll go out and in the beginning they'll say, the Funko Cop posted a video, Funko Cop posted a video, and then other people like then they got like a huge amount of people in it. Then they stopped posting my videos, and so I wasn't really gaining anything. Um, I already talked to the people outside of the Funko Collector Society that I talked to because I'm not big into. I enjoy the community. Like just in the community as a whole, not even just the Funko
Like
collecting
the
community.
people.
The people
Mhm.
like a person that I've started talking to. I talked to him all night last night. Pause was the homie Gunpla University. He is another Gundam builder. Has a small YouTube channel. I told him to check you out because you do podcasts. I say you try to interview him as well. He has his own YouTube channel and it's a smaller channel. And his like talking to him and finding out, okay, how do I do this? How do I do that? Like branching out is something I always naturally know how to do. So like being confined to like other people, like I didn't meet Chunky Swole through the Funko Collector Society. That wasn't my goal. Like my thing was like, okay, I'm in this group, I'm in it. What am I going to benefit from it?
Right.
What am I going to gain from it? Like so in my mind back then it was I want to gain. They have 16,000 followers. I want to at least get maybe five, six, 700 subscribers from this if they keep posting it. You would think, but naturally,
Right.
the numbers you would they keep posting my videos and they keep posting my pictures on their page. That eventually, that these people, these you can't. That's why it'd be mind-boggling to me when people have all these views and then a certain amount of subscribers because like I,
Right.
I forgot somebody was I looked at somebody's channel and it was like a statue channel Dragon Ball Z. They had 250,000 views on a video and only like 10 thumbs up. I'm like,
Right.
it's odd, but anyway, that's what made me realize like I guess like the Funko Collector Society helped me realize like I stopped caring about the numbers, the analytics. That's why when Dark Sage put it in the thing in the Texas chat when he did his Texas thing, like how do y'all look at your analytics? I tell them I don't. I put in the chat. I said this is how I look at it. I don't. I stopped caring because once you start doing it like that, it feels like you're working a second job.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it feels like you can't branch out from a certain way. I respect where I came from. That's why I won't change my name, like the Funko Cop. I sat there. I was like, yo, I'm a cop. I collect Funkos. Funko Cop makes sense. Like, even though I collect statues, like, I still this all originated from
Same.
Funkos.
Same.
My YouTube channel emblem isn't going to change from what it
Yep.
is now because my homie Court Soren Wins, he was on my couch, sketched the Funko Cop. He sketched that out for me just for off GP out of respect. So I might change my Instagram photo, but my YouTube photo isn't going to change. I have
Right.
more followers, I mean subscribers on YouTube than I have on Instagram. So
Yeah.
I show him that respect. Like that's why I pay homage to anybody that helped me pave the way, and I try to give back as much as I can. Like I'll sit
Same.
back and
Yeah. I hear you.
lazy youth, and because I
Mhm.
remember being that guy, and I'm not trying to make like a sob story here, but I remember being that guy wondering like, okay, like itching to get. I couldn't wait to get to 100 subscribers. I couldn't wait. Like, all right, huh? Like it took me, I think 8 months to get to 100 subscribers, and after that it was like, all right, cool. But then I started focusing on so much about, all right, I posted a video, how many views I got, how many views I got,
Right.
how many, thumbs down. I don't want no thumb down. Like I do this because I do this. Like
I
I do
like
it.
when people give me a thumbs down because I'm like, at least you know what I mean. You paying attention to it some way. You got some reaction to it because it's
Yeah,
just
and people get upset about it. Like they'll get, I got my first thumbs down today. Like that's somebody. It's just like somebody's opinion. Somebody
yeah.
just that's
Yeah.
somebody didn't like that
Maybe they
video.
just didn't like that video and they liked another video. Like I don't know
Yeah,
enough about the thumbs down to get caught up into it. And most of the time, if it's not like Like a video game video or a pop, like if it's just like a regular like this, like my regular podcast, which is my like my logo, my Fest Frequency logo. I
Mhm.
my channel is based off a podcast. That's what I love to do. And I want to make that a living, but I still love to do that. So I
Yeah,
and the collector society made me realize as well, like that I didn't care about, because I thought it was like a Facebook group, because I've been in the Facebook groups, so that's what I originally thought it was, and why the first time I ever even tried, because I thought it was just like a Facebook group sort of thing where you just meet people. Because I have
yeah.
friends that I met on Facebook that was the same way, but it wasn't like that. It's a whole other thing. And they kind of showed me, it's just like, well, it kind of looks like I gotta be like this,
Oh my
may
gang.
sit to some people, but I'm just gonna be honest, like kind of do
So
like sheepish or like what everybody else is doing. And it's just like I don't want to do what everybody else is doing all the time. Like we all
yeah,
play a video game, but I'm not going to be a streamer 24/7 if I don't feel like that's something I want to do. You know what I mean? And I just feel like I don't like the I thought the Facebook like Funko groups was weird and like culty, but like the Instagram ones are even more so. And it's just like
and
once you
you don't.
detach those peoples from
And
the
the thing
groups, they're
about
actually really cool, you know? So
and the thing about the Instagram groups versus the Facebook groups, you don't get no gain from it. I think like
yeah,
the Facebook groups. I'm in one called Hampton Roads Facebook Hampton Roads Funko Club. At least I get a gain from it because somebody might post a picture. This was I found four Beta Ray bills at this
right.
Walgreens, and it could be the Walgreens right down the road from my house. And like, all right, bet I benefited from that. I don't benefit from being in a group. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so like that's why
I
I'm
don't
like,
necessarily have to benefit as much as I don't want it to be any weird drama or like nonsense. Like I like to just communicate with collectors or
that's
people that,
it.
you know what I mean? So if it's like if it's more than that or some weird like kind of environment, I don't like to be in that, because it's just like I want to be able to relate to a lot of people, not just strictly Funko collectors. And I feel like I don't want to ever put myself in a box where I'm just like, for a while I was just doing podcasts where I was just interviewing musicians. And I'll do that to the day I die. I love music because I have those musicians on. But I wanted to reach out to collectors and gamers and athletes and business people and all that stuff. Like, why? Maybe it's too much. Maybe it's not, but that's just something I love to do.
That's what you
And
like to do.
and if people love being in, like we were saying earlier, if you love to do that and if you love that environment, I commend you, and I think you should keep doing it and make it the best way you can. But if you're doing stuff and riding away just because other people are, or you feel pressured to, or you're just trying to ride that wave to only get something out of it, I don't think it's gonna work out every time how you think. It's
It's
gonna be
not.
really like difficult, and it's just like, why not just try doing your own way and creating your own thing? You know what I mean? And who knows what that could turn into? Like, I couldn't imagine if I like changed my logo to like a Funko thing to appeal to more Funko people, and just where I would be at now if I didn't keep my podcast in mind and like the stuff I want to do. Like, I don't think I'll be sitting here talking to you today, bro.
That's what
I feel like I was just only be doing unboxing and mystery boxes, and it's just like
and that's what
I'm
I
not a mystery box guy either. I'll unbox my videos because I love my pops, you know what I mean, and I
yeah.
want other
That,
people to see
that's
them
what
in
I'm
the
trying
community
to
for.
oh like be willing to branch out. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I have no problem against people that have their content, and this is how they go because everybody, again, like I said in the beginning, you branch off to where you started from. I
right,
remember coming home, I turned on YouTube, and Toy Hunter popped up on my screen on YouTube, and it was the 10-inch Hulk. And I was like, yo, I remember seeing on the Target app saying coming soon December. Until I watched his video of him going out there and hunting for that Hulk, that's what inspired me to get up and like, oh shit, I could do YouTube too. And I
right.
and I always pay respect to him. We talk to this day. Like Jiffy Zayout, he goes out and hunts. That's why I make hunt videos. That's why I could brand like some people. That's why now they don't. And no offense against to these people, they don't know what to do because their mystery box might be delayed because of this. Because of the coronavirus. Um, that's why when I do my videos now, I separate my. I try to separate myself and not bring up what's going on in the world. That's
Yeah,
why I haven't like I do my hunt videos. I don't wear a mask. I don't like.
yeah.
Well, you don't. I wear a mask, but you don't see me with it on because I try to make the people feel as normal as they can when you watch.
Mhm.
You already get it enough watching the news, getting on Facebook, getting on Instagram. Everywhere you turn on, I went on weather.com just to check the weather in my area, and that shit was the number one thing up there. I'm like, this doesn't even have to impact the weather. So when I do my videos, I want people to just feel like everything is normal, like everything
Right.
is fine, and like I don't want to go out. And I understand why people do it. They put the mask on. You know, that's fine. But then I feel like you're using it as a way to. I don't know. I don't know. To me, I'm just different. And again, no disrespect to the people that does it, but when you
Bro,
when
what's understood ain't gotta be explained. Like, don't even feel like, don't feel bad, don't feel like you say anything wrong. Like, I know we
that's
live in a society now where we gotta kind of not have our
yeah,
own beliefs or standards or how we feel or our own preferences. But bro, if somebody got on the comments and felt some way, they would just have to feel some way. You know what
that's
I
all.
mean, or anything. But
I'm
it
not.
because it's
I'm
never
not.
that deep. Like I'm not coming out for world domination. I don't want to hurt nobody. Like I have a preference or something. You know,
Yeah,
that's it. Like if you don't like the preference, then don't like it. Like I'm not asking you to immerse yourself in my preferences. Like so, it's all good. But we've been running for like two 20s here. So
oh,
I'm
bet,
I'm
man.
gonna wrap it
No,
up a
no,
little
no
bit.
problem, man. I
Yeah, we
appreciate the
don't. We could
opportunity.
definitely chop it up, and I know you about to be doing your building chill here
I don't.
soon.
I don't even know if I'll probably do that because I probably got to go get my daughter after
Uh,
actually. So I might not even. I might push that back until tomorrow.
got you.
It is what it is. Like,
My bad, bro. If I
no,
held
no,
you up.
no, no, no.
Yeah,
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's just I'm looking at my watch and like I'm seeing stuff come up. And my mom has she's not like she's up in age, so my daughter running around her house and stuff like that. So I might
right.
postpone the build and chill until tomorrow or later on at night. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
That's the whole purpose of it. Like I want people to enjoy it. Like I'm not tethered to a
that
time
time.
period.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's only reason I picked Thursday nights is because on a normal Thursday, if the world was straight right now, I'll be at Hobbytown doing a build night with the Gundam Club because that's what we do on Thursdays. It'll
That's
be
what's up.
three or four of us. We'll sit in there. We talk about new kits. What's coming out. We'll build for like an hour or two, and then we'll go home. And on Saturdays we have the Gundam Club, which is strictly Gundams, and they'll put on like this guy will bring in his portable DVD player with a TV. We'll put on some Gundams and
That's
turn
what's
on
up.
like or throw on some anime. Some people will bring like the Gundam Wing mangas out. So if you just want to sit there and read a manga while other people are building, like I'm so used to doing that on Thursday, so that's why I started like the build and chill because that's what I would do on a Thursday night. Like tonight, I'll be at Hobbytown, like on a normal night. Like when they opened up the other day, it says the activity room is closed. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll do the build and chill. Like so, it ain't nothing to do with how long we've been on this though.
Okay.
This I enjoyed this. Believe me, I enjoyed this. I picking your brain and seeing how your setup is set up. That's dope. I enjoy how what you do with the cards and your channel and stuff like that and the
Bro, Sam.
podcast. Like that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Hey, bro. I appreciate you for coming on. Real talk.
I
It was great
appreciate the
working with you.
opportunity, man. I appreciate the opportunity because to me, in my mind, I still have 100 subs. In my mind,
Oh,
I still
same
have
here, bro.
few
I
hundred
don't
subs.
have nowhere near what I want, and
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
so
sit there and harp on it. But gotta put. I want to make everything I do good, just because I want to, and because you know what I mean. That's just
and
the way
and,
I
and
am.
and you treat everybody the same. Like I don't want to be that type of person where it's like if I had 45,000 subs and be like, yo, I don't even know who you are. I'm good. I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
nah. I
Yeah,
remember.
I had a buddy do that the other day. He talks a lot about trying to do something on my channel with me, and I told him like these are the 3 or 4 things I'm doing right now. But if you got like a certain plan, like I would love to do something with you. That's no problem. But he started talking about this guy and stuff, and like a couple people, and he would just bring up their views and like they follow. I was like, I mean, but what does he do? Like, what is he into? Like that sort of stuff. Because I don't really care about the views or how like any of that stuff, bro. What can I go off of? So I'm interested in the guy because that's what's gonna want me to have him on the podcast is
Yeah.
like how like what is he does if I can find interest in him like for
There's a
myself, you know
there's
what I mean? And
there's a
how I can do an
there's
interview on
a
that,
few
you know.
people I know. Like, if you get a chance, follow the homie Toy Hunter.
Okay.
If you're not, he has a podcast out now that's called That's Not Cinema, where he reviews a lot of these movies. Even like, like he reviews his top. I think he reviewing his top um, 5 movies of 2019. His last one, like he did one with Parasite. He did one with Endgame, and like his he was the first person that put me on to YouTube. First
Right.
person that shouted me out to YouTube. First person that put me on a podcast. So his podcast is dope. Like I said, go check out the homie Gunpla University.
I
Um,
think I does he have an Instagram? Because I think I've seen that because
yeah,
I
he
in
does
my
have
search
Instagram.
bar, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
See, I think so because I had to because in my search and the little search thing on
yeah,
Instagram, I follow all the statues and like all that sort of stuff. So I seen him before. I'm
yeah.
actually about to go ahead and give him that follow right now.
And he'll be down to do like that's and pick his brain about how he paints. Cause just talking to him last night, I'm like, yo, this is what I want to do with this Gundam. Okay, you need this, and I'm like, yo, that's mind boggling. What would be crazy would be to have like Lazy Youth and him on a live, two artists who paint heavily and kind of pick their brains of how do you see this color? Because he was like, yo, you need to get this primer and this color gloss to get that red to pop. And I'm like, honestly, I would have just took red spray paint and spray painted that motherfucker. And
I
like,
would I would have to ask them like what are the differences and similarities between Funko painting and bill painting, you know what I mean?
and speak
What's
it.
the obstacles you face here? What's the
It's
obstacle
what's
you face
crazy is
here?
what's and it's almost damn near identical because I talked to them both about it because I know Lazy he's starting to get into the Gundam, he wanted to paint it, and I was like, yo bro, like you about to he's about to freak it because I know because he sent me his, this is what he like, yo, this is how you airbrush, this is how you do that, get an airbrush kit is, it's this much. And then I talked to the homie Gunpla University last night about painting. He sent me almost the identical starter kit that Lazy sent
That's
me. And it was,
crazy.
and I'm like, and I took a screenshot of Lazy's conversation. I sent it to him. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Y'all both said this at the same time. He was like, yeah, man. It's so just to pick the artistic brains of painters and
Mhm.
because you bringing them on. I'm not saying you don't have to, but if you did, might
Oh,
branch
no.
off to um other Funko people are doing like, oh, that's all I got to do to paint, or that's all I have to do to customize a pop or a
Right.
model kit, or even down to a Marvel Legend to where if I wanted to airbrush or paint one. Um, another another I'm sorry to keep throwing names out, man, but
Oh, you
another
good, man.
podcast I listen to, if you watch my stories, is the Figheads podcast. They inspired me to do photo photography, and their photo
Oh,
photography with their figures are crazy. I'll send you some just off of on the through the DM. But the homie CTG the collector, Darth Dundada, this dude named Geeky Fresh, they take the. I'm like, that's what inspired me to do the Ultron based pictures that I've been posting because I've been listening to them And I feel like that's what makes me doing that help me feel like I'm maximizing my money now. Because
Yeah,
now I'm
yeah,
no longer just buying a Marvel Legend and posing them. I'm posing them and making a scene with it. And listening to them made me wanted to do that. So what you're doing with your podcast is it's amazing how you don't know who you could be touching to make them want to do something.
yeah.
And just to strictly stay in that box of just Funkos, it's it's just mind boggling. Like if you could talk to the homie Nick from Mecca Warehouse who put me on my first sponsorship, he'll be down for a podcast and pick his brain on a business level of how he works a business. He's a
Yeah,
one
see,
man.
and that's what my podcasts normally are. Like my very first ones, like I got all sorts of dudes from all different types of backgrounds that's doing all crazy, like all types of crazy stuff now. So, like that's where my mind, like I'm heavy into podcasts in general, like about anything. So
Hmm.
like that's why like I love genuine conversation. I don't like when any sort of news or interview platform bits and pieces interview and kind of can change it into what they want instead of just letting that thing be what it was organically.
Yeah,
So like even because like we've gone a minute, but like I had to go away from only doing podcasts because I know it's a lot. I got to reach that audience of people that like to listen and watch podcasts, and I haven't gotten there quite yet. So I need to rope people in with other things that of
yeah,
shorter variety that has a lot of substance in it, so that they could then go see the podcast stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because
Which
we've been
makes
going for 2:30 right now, and I don't mind at all. I could talk to you
yeah.
all day. You a cool brother. But you know what I mean? Some people can't hang in for longer
Hey,
than
hey, man,
30
like I
minutes,
said, this is I'll
which
send
is
you
cool.
like I'll send you like people that's willing to do it, man, and they're cool guys, and they're all different fathoms of collectors. They're all like I said, Gunpla University, him and Lazy Youth, what they do with their painting and the artistic. Then you get CTG, the collector, who has his own podcast, and if you go listen to it on Spotify and that talk about up and coming figs, like I didn't know like Todd McFarlane was doing a Kickstarter for Spawn until I started looking into it, until I listened to him do it. Like that go deep into the Mezco. They go Mezco, NECA. They talk about it all, and then they bring in artists like there's this one guy they brought in named Nose Rain, which his toy photography is crazy. It's crazy, and
I
you
think it's dope that you a fan of so much stuff. And like these people like off gate, you could just like I this is why I do the podcast, bro. I love hearing people be able to go on any tangent or have this info or a bunch of stuff I never knew or stuff I did know that we could just go on a tangent about. This is why I'm here though, bro. But we
that's
gonna we gonna chop it up more and stuff.
yeah,
Y'all
exactly.
gotta go check out my guy Funko Cop, bro.
I
It's Funko
appreciate it.
Cop on IG. He got a YouTube. I don't know if you got any Facebook stuff or Twitter.
Uh,
Um, I'm any link
IG,
I'm gonna
YouTube.
get from you, or I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna put it in the description like I always do.
I
So yeah,
appreciate it,
I,
man.
I, I really appreciate it, bro. We gonna chop it up again soon somehow. So whether it
No,
be live
no,
stream or chill bill, whatever, bro.
no doubt. No
All
doubt,
right,
bro.
bro. I appreciate you. Y'all make sure y'all go hit my guy up, subscribe. I mean, check his
Y'all
video.
make sure y'all hit that subscribe button right now on Fet's page. Hit that like button. Share it. Like I said, y'all, it only takes 15, 20 seconds of your
You
life.
ain't lying. You ain't
And
lying.
that's it. That's it to help the change, to make change, man, and to
You
help
ain't
the
lying.
community grow.
Hey, y'all heard it from the Funko Cop himself. That's a wise man right there. The great and wise Funko Cop. So we got the great Dark Sage and the great and wise Funko Cop. All right, okay. So I see what was happening here. All right, okay. All right, bro. I appreciate you.
No doubt.
We're gonna end it here, y'all. Appreciate y'all very much.